So ready to get started on this Wednesday night. All right, so getting ready for hand number 2. All right, so obviously we did have a delay. Started about half an hour late, some technical difficulties, but we're jumping into hand number 2 here on this 2-5 stream. Normally we stream 1-3 on Wednesday nights, changing it up tonight with the 2-5 stream. $500 minimum buy-in as we get ready for hand number 2. It's going to be Rene versus Ivan, and a king high flop coming as Rene flopping top pair, and he's going to check. Board pairing on the turn. Rene putting out a bet of 35, and Ivan with the quick fold. So once again, we are live. Yes, we did start about half an hour late. We did have some technical difficulties. These players started playing at around 6:30 Texas time, Central time. And then that is why the stream started 15 minutes after that, which would put us about 6:45. So we'll go around the table real quick, show who's who. The minimum buy-in is $500. Seat number 1 just taking his seat there, and they're getting this information for seat number 1. Should be popping up right now. There he is. Got Silos in seat 1. He's in for 640. Seat 2, Nick. He's in. Wow, he's already up $800. Rene up $500. I don't think those numbers are right. I think something was entered wrong at the beginning, which is one of the reasons why we had the technical difficulties. Either way, hand number 3. We will be streaming for 4 hours, so we'll be streaming till about 10:45 tonight, Central Time, Texas time. As it looks like newbie putting on the raise with the king queen suited up to 25. There was a $10 straddle from Nick, but he is not going to defend. All right, let's see if we can figure out exactly how much these players are in for. Minimum buy-in's $500 for this 2-5 game, and I know most of them bought in for $500. So let's see what the chip stacks say. Yeah, Los is in for 640. Yeah, so what happened was when they restarted the stream, then whatever they bought in for got entered a second time. So essentially can subtract a $500 from whatever they bought in for. So Nick is actually up. Nick is up $293. Doneto in for 500. Rene coming in for the raise. Newbie calling with the ace rag. Big spoon folded. Pedro folding his button. El Jefe in seat 5. King 9 suited. He will make the call, and we will go 3 ways to a flop. And it's going to come a little something for everybody as newbie flops top pair. Rene flopping a flush draw with a straight draw, and El Jefe flopping a pair with a backdoor flush draw. Everybody going to be calling here as the pot getting up to over $100, $122 to be exact. Going 3 ways to a turn. And it's going to be a 10, so Rene pairing his 10 to go along with his flush draw. Of course, still has the straight draw. although now it's a little more obvious. Rene bet in less than half pot, $50. As we'll get some dollar chips on the table. So Neto not done with his hand yet. You can see he's only 10% to win right now. He needs to hit a king or a 9. And Rene flopped a straight draw and a flush draw. He hit a pair on the turn. He's going to hit his flush on the river. It looks like he's going to bet $100. Quick fold from El Jefe. And he will show.
And I was like,
so seat one low, Silos, he was the only player that actually sat down after the glitch. So his chip count is right. El Jefe, we just saw him lose that pot. So whatever he has in his stack can minus 500.
I did put 100 on San Diego State tonight at night. So I did.
New York Bob with the San Francisco busboy. He'll get rid of that. Newbie raising it up to 20 with the ace queen. Looks like nobody has anything to call him with. Oh, El Jefe with a suited ace. Let's see if he puts out the 3-bet or just calls. Look like Silos buying a Texas Card House hoodie. So it looks like he's putting that on. That's why we see the top of his head there. And yes, El Jefe does put in the 3-bet. UB not going anywhere as he raised it to 20. El Jefe 3-bet into 80. Oh, Newbie making the fold.
You think so? Bro, I'm seeing him miss some throws.
So
He's throwing to...
I know it's coming, and it still freaks me out where Newbie makes these unusual plays, but he doesn't hide it. He's a newbie, so he's going to make some non-standard plays every once in a while. So that was one of those non-standard plays. Fold an ace queen to a small 3-bet. He raised it 20. El Jefe taking it up to 80. But he would have been closing the action in position. And as I said, newbie making unconventional plays. He is now limping under the gun with the 10-4 of clubs. Silos raising it up with the 4s. Nick with the quick call, suited queen 10. Rene also with some suited cards, jack 7 of diamonds. And Newbie gonna call with his 10-4. He's the only player with clubs here, looking to go clubbing on a Wednesday night as he flops 2 clubs. Also has some backdoor draws, backdoor straight draws. Excuse me, backdoor straight draws with the 4. And he hits his 10, but you could see that Nick has a better 10. He's going to put out a pretty big bet here, $85 into the pot. And he's betting almost pot, $75. And see if Nick lets him have it. It doesn't look like. Oh, he's thinking about it. It's a really big bet. But Nick is not letting his hand go just yet. Rene needing an 8 for a straight. But 75 is too much for him to pay. And we will go to the river as newbie needing a 10 or a 4. Instead, the board is going to pair. And let's see what newbie does on the river here. $235 on the pot. Looks like he checked. Nick going to check behind. And we will go to a showdown, and newbie will show his 10-4 of clubs. And he is going to be out-kicked. Nice hand for Nick as we get ready for a hand number 7. Yeah, hand number 7. So we were scheduled to start at 6 p.m. The players, well, 8 of the 9 players, they were here before 6 p.m. However, we did have some technical difficulties at the beginning. So these players started playing at 6:30. And then when you add the 15-minute delay, we started streaming at 6:45. So we just started streaming less than 15 minutes ago. As Silos will fold his suited 10. Nick, he just won the last hand. He's also going to make the fold.
It's been in favor of the bettors than the bookies. Because all of these, plus 300.
And it's going to go folded around to New York Bob, and they're just going to chop the blinds, I believe. It's really kind of a funny dynamic, and I've noticed this at other card rooms here in Texas, that when it comes to 2-5, the 1-2 games and the 1-3 games in Texas, they play really big. They play really big. They play really fast. But for whatever reason, when the big blind is a red chip, 2-5, and this is pretty much true across the state. For whatever reason, when the game gets switched to 2-5, it plays a lot tighter and more shallow as well. Really doesn't make sense to me, but a lot of people, I think what it is they want to spend the least amount of money possible to win the most amount of money possible. So you tend to see the 1-2 and 1-3 games play deep, play fast. But when you move up to 2-5 and 5-10, it plays a lot slower. So El Jefe putting on the raise to 90 with the 10s. There was a $10 under the gun straddle coming from Silos. And El Jefe will take it down.
Obviously, I'm not going to go with those. So I was like, you know what? The most reasonable one has to be in this one right here between 0 and 1,000. 10,000 and 1,000, I mean. So I did, I was like,
I think since a lot of card rooms offer the 1-3, it kind of makes the 2-5 a little awkward and obsolete. Me personally, but it is not my decision to make. Me personally, I think the card rooms in general should do away with the 1-3 if they seriously want to consider offering a 2-5 and just offer both a 1-2 game and a 2-5 game. But instead, it somehow winds up here in the middle at 1-3. So it's kind of a big game for the newbies, a small game for the poker sharks. Speaking about newbies, he's going to be putting on a move here. Right? It's actually not a move. He's got a hand. He's got the ladies. So Nick with the small raise to $20 with the 5 high hearts. He picks up a couple different colors. I actually like this raise from newbie, as there was a $20 raise and 3 people called the $20 raise. So that's already $80 right there. So newbie taking it up to 120. He's on the button. Surprisingly, I like this play from newbie. I don't like a lot of his plays, as they are very unconventional. Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. But this play I do like. You can see he's getting a call, but he's still going to have position on the player, as we have over a $300 pot going to a flop heads up. El Jefe with king high spades. And the ace going to come on the flop. We'll see if it goes check, check. Newbie really doesn't like that ace, but let's see if he still puts out a bet. No, it's going to go check, check. Oh, huge turn for El Jefe, and he just might lead here as he turns a royal flush draw. Oh, and he's just going all in. Max pressure. Newbie calls here. Wow. Queen of spades for fun. Queen of spades is available.
Oh, your queen's over there, man.
It's a jack, so Newbie is gonna win as El Jefe just shows the jack of spades, and Newbie actually thought that he had lost. It looks like he was getting ready to get up, but they will get the chip count on Newbie's stack. He really didn't believe El Jefe that he had the ace. As I said, he does make some unconventional plays, but he just decided to call with the queens, even with the ace on the board.
There we go, Towns. I think we have them. I don't think we have.
So we are live on the YouTube chat. I do realize we did start streaming a little bit late, but as they take care of the pot there, we'll take care of the Trailblazer.
Attention Rio Grande Valley poker players. The $60,000 guaranteed Trailblazer Poker Tour is coming to Texas Card House RGV from December 19th through December 29th. $175 buy-in. Tons of great perks for playing at this tour stop. Flights at 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. every day except Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. For full details, structure, and more, visit TexasCardHouse.com.
Yeah, you still have. I mean, like the high stakes games and stuff that you see on TV. Oh no, high stakes poker. No. They're using the chips. Yeah.
So these chip counts on the bottom are not correct, just because when we started, we had to restart the stream.
And I think we're charging $2 now.
The Trailblazer Series beginning here next week at the Texas Card House RGV. It's actually cold for us in South Texas right now. You can see a lot of players, long sleeve jackets. It was in the 60s today. So 60s is cold for South Texas. Looks like Ivan there in seat 9, the only one without any sort of long sleeves. Oh, El Jefe raising here with the Queen 4.
Come on, Knickerbockers.
As he is tilting from the last hand. Can't blame him. He turned a royal flush draw, and he hit a pair on the river. It's not like he missed everything. He did hit a pair on the river. So let's see if Newbie finishes him off here, as Silos has already called with his 9s. Newbie is closing the action. But as I said, he does make unconventional plays. No, he's going to get rid of the Jack 9. Excuse me, the Jack 10. So El Jefe looking for a queen. And of course, Newbie would have made a full house. Oh, the 9s are going to get counterfeited. Oh, that's... Wow. What a crazy run out, as the Queen 4 is going to win the pot. 2 pair, kings and 10s with a queen kicker. So the 9s getting counterfeited. Obviously, Newbie would have won if he would have stuck around. But El Jefe is happy that Newbie folded, because he's going to be able to double up. So 2-5, $2, $5, no limit Texas Hold'em tonight. Normally we do play 1-3, but tonight changing it up to 2-5. In theory, it is a bigger game. I just don't think it's going to work like that in practice, but we will see. El Jefe raising it up to 28. I don't know if that's a legal raise in 2-5, to be honest with you, but normally these dealers do not deal 2-5. Normally you have to raise or call in $5 increments, but these dealers are used to dealing 1-3. New York Bob with the diamonds. Everybody with the king. New York Bob with the diamonds. He's going to put out a bet here with his draw, and he's going to take it down. So it looks like El Jefe is still steaming from missing his royal draw earlier, as he is now straddling under the gun for 25. He went all in earlier with Queen 4 offsuit, was able to win the pot, and now he is straddling under the gun to 25. So Rene with 4s. I think he likes the hand, but not for 25. He will get rid of it. And New York Bob going to be making the call. Looks like somebody's cards did not get scanned. There we go. So Ivan with the suited ace. New York Bob just winning the last hand, playing the Jack 10 here under the gun. +2. Oh, he was actually under the gun since there was a straddle under the gun. So we're going 3 ways to a flop. And it's going to come 10-10-8, New York Bob. Flopping trips, and looks like he's going to check it. Very draw-heavy board. And he picks up one of those draws with his jack. Should start putting some money into this pot. Oh, El Jefe putting out a nice size bet here. $82 in the pot. It looks like he is betting 64. Yeah, so the 9, I was about to say, the 9 did not get scanned. You saw the dealer. So New York Bob going to be going all in. Oh, El Jefe calling, drawing dead. No, he's not drawing dead. He needs a 6. He needs a 6 because the jack would make New York Bob a full house. There's 2 6s left in the deck. Let's see if El Jefe is able to hit one of the 2 6s. Does not. New York Bob will show the trip 10s, and I don't know if El Jefe is going to rebuy. I don't think he is. Yeah. So we do have a seat open in the 2-5.
Yes.
So they're just going to confirm on whether or not he's going to come back. I do not think he is.
Who? Neto?
Which, of course, means we have a
He was going against Queens, though.
seat open.
Like, he wasn't going against a jump hand. Like, I would understand this game when you get snacky on the river and it's like a 2 or something. Like, that way he knew that this guy was
So we are now 8-handed.
Like, he's strong, bro.
And as some people say, no, right away, the seat's taken. So New York Bob raising it up, trying to make it 3 in a row. And we are going 3 ways to a flop.
We got 3 players to a flop.
Queen high.
2 players with an ace. And it's going to come queen high, 2 spades. Nick does have the ace of spades, as it'll check to Nick. $52 in the pot.
Wow, baby, that one.
Looks like he's betting 17. 18.
Yeah, they're a favorite. About 2 points. They're a favorite by 8, actually.
New York Bob does have the best hand. It is a small bet. New York Bob will make the fold. And we do have somebody taking seat 5, but he is going to have to wait a hand. Something unique to the stream is you're not able to come in. You're not able to buy the button. As the way the software is set up, there's no feature for a player to buy the button.
It was a Warriors game, obviously.
Not only that, I don't think he has all of his chips with him yet, as it is a $500 minimum buy-in.
There was a video of 6 minutes.
No phones, no none of that.
And it was just them, like, just running to the other side.
And there's the rest.
6 minutes of that, literally.
So $500 minimum buy-in. Normally it's a 1-3 game with a $300 minimum buy-in. Tonight a 2-5, 500. So more chips on the table. We'll see if it equals more action. As Newbie's gonna limp with the king 6 under the gun. Non-GTO play from Newbie. He tends to make a lot of those. But sometimes you gotta have faith. As Ivan making the call with the ace behind him. Folded around to Pedro on the button. And he's going to play his button with the suited 8-4. Rene going to be raising it up to 20. I like the idea of raising it. I don't like the sizing. Normally when you're raising out of the blinds, you do want to size it up since you're going to be playing the hand in position. And you do see that everybody called the raise as we're going 4 ways to an jack high flop. Nobody with the jack, but Pedro flopping bottom 2. And Rene, who has a gut shot straight draw, is going to put out a continuation bet here. Let's see if Pedro raises. No front door flush draws on the flop, so he might just choose to call the 40. And no, he's going to be raising. It's a small raise. Looks like 120, little 3x action. It's 115. 115. Oh, Rene going with it here. Obviously, a 10 would be gross. A jack also helps him, but a 10's the immediate out. The 10 is still the immediate out, as he's going to slow down now. We'll see if Pedro sizes up, as there's almost $300 in the pot. Pedro has about $400 in his stack. Yeah, so he has been in 185, and I think this is going to do the job. Let's see if Rene finally releases. Rene joining us tonight from Starr County. That's the next county over. Pedro will show the 2 pair, and the button will move to Rene, and we will get the information of seat 5 in the system. And seat 5, I believe he's coming in for 500, 510, and it's going to be Torito. So the little bull. And the reason why he's using that name is he is actually a bull rider. I was about to say 8 seconds, and and the pocket 8s for Ivan. Kind of a Matrix moment for me, at least. He's going to make it LeBron James, 23. Rene going to be calling on the button with the AC Deucey, and we're going to be going heads up. The ace isn't in terrible shape. You can see it's about 60-40, as there are 3 aces left, but that's not one of them. Ivan going to put out the continuation bet here. Doesn't see an ace or king on the flop, so Ivan will take it down. We are live on the YouTube chat. We are live, YouTube and Twitch. We are live on the YouTube and Twitch chat. I do realize that we are streaming on multiple platforms. Probably most people watching either on YouTube or on the Facebook. So if you're making comments on the Facebook, I cannot see them. I cannot reply to them. It'll be YouTube. As Ivan's going to be big blind. And we get ready for hand number 16. Of course, 8 times 2, 16. Silos, under the gun, UTG. Action is on him. Nice little Texas Card House hoodie to keep warm. Big Spoon makes the call with the ace. $60 raise coming from Rene. Oh, so Newbie gets sticky here as he was out-kicked, and he's going to turn a full house. Let's see if he raises here.
I don't think so, because it says back on the floor. Maybe, are they going to be like a finals, or maybe that might be
How much does UB have in his stack?
so maybe they'll do
Does have a stack of green there,
semifinals and finals, maybe.
but he is going to put out a raise, and it's just screaming 9s here. It's screaming that he has a 9. He has a jack to go with it. Rene figures it out pretty quick, so nice fold from him. And let's see if Newbie folds. We do have a high hand promo going on right now. As a matter of fact, today is the last day for the first half of that high hand promo, as the high hands are for the anniversary. The 4-year, nope, that's, sorry, wrong pocket. There we go. Nope, that's not it either. How about here? Hey, there we go. We got a winner. So Texas Card House Rio Grande Valley celebrating its 5-year anniversary and giving out $500 twice during the day. Well, once in the afternoon and once at night. So that is going on right now, and then we will take a break for the weekend and then pick it back up on the 16th. So high hands going on right now. Like I said, we will take a break for the weekend and pick it back up on Monday.
Yeah, they went for all kinds of medical tests. Nauseous too, it's got a name. Nauseous. So there actually is something that is a chronic.
Newbie with the 9s, taking it up to 15. Looks like Los is going to fold, but Big Spoon will make the call. So 2 players. Well, 1 player with diamonds, 1 player with hearts, and it's going to come diamonds. The ace on the flop again. Newbie wasn't scared with the ace the last time he had a pocket pair. But this time, Big Spoon is going to lead out with his bottom pair. So $50 in the pot, just under a half pot size bet. Newbie has Ivan to worry about, so he will make the fold. And Ivan calling with the flush draw. You can see Ivan's outs on the top. That's not one of them, as that's actually going to give Big Spoon 2 pair. And he's going to continue on here. Let's see if Ivan is going to pay. Looks like 45. It's 40. Ivan will make the call. You can see that he does have 4 diamonds left in the deck. There are 4 diamonds left in the deck. And Big Spoon going to hit a full house. As I just mentioned, there is a high hand bonus. Newbie just hit a full house last hand. He had 9s full of jacks. And now Big Spoon is going to have jacks full of deuces, and he will show. I do not know what the high hand is at this moment. Last time I checked it, I think it was kings full. I think it was kings full of 8s.
Yeah, I was reading about it like maybe a year ago that it started getting publicity that a lot of people were reacting negatively.
So the button has gone around twice, as it did start in seat 9. Blinds are not out, but it is $2. The dealer's letting the players know about the blinds. Big Spoon, who just won last hand, the action is on him under the gun, has ace rag, and he's going to be raising it up to 20. Rene making the call with the queen 9 off suit. Ivan also making the call with the queen. Rene does not want to see a queen, but it will come 7-4-4 with 2 clubs. Pretty much the first player who bets at this pot will win the pot. Big Spoon did raise it under the gun. Looks like Rene is going to put out a tiny bet here. I was actually Big Spoon who put out the bet. He's betting with the best hand here, the ace high. And the ace high is going to wind up the best hand. I don't see anybody betting here. Let's see if one of these players proves me wrong. Oh, Ivan with the bet here. I like this play from Ivan. He knows he can't win here with queen high. And he's going to get it through. So newbie letting him know there is a high hand in effect. But I think Ivan said, I did not have a high hand, letting newbie know you didn't have a high hand. So Phony Turgeson in the chat. Happy home day. It's a Camel's favorite day. So Rene making the call has been pretty active thus far tonight. As it looks like Ivan's cards did not get scanned. So once the cards get scanned, the cameras will zoom in on the action. And Rene did make the call. He does have an ace-9. Showing that New York Bob made the call, but it was actually Rene. There we go. Yeah, so Rene called the 5, newbie raised it to 15. Big Spoon going to be calling with his ace, and Rene also going to be calling with his ace. Rene flopping open-ended with the 9. Let's see if they check to the aggressor. No, Rene gonna lead out with his open-ender, and this should get the job done. As Big Spoon does not have much of anything. So Big Spoon taking a while to fold here. Might want some more screen time. All right, he finally does make the fold. So beginning next week, it is going to be stop number 3, numero 3 of the Texas Card House Trailblazer Series. First stop back in October at TCH Social in Austin. Second stop was last month at Texas Card House in Spring, just north of Houston. And the third stop will be here next week, the Trailblazer Series. So essentially you have less than a $200 buy-in for more than a $50,000 prize pool.
Yo, what time is fucking Declan coming in, man? I need to get George's money, because I might get drunk, I'm gonna forget. What? Well, yeah, but I have $700 in the fucking internet fucking hijack. Oh, you want to do that? So I want to take money out from there.
So we're going 4 ways to a flop. And Nick is going to flop bottom 2 pair. So Nick, I believe, straddled to 15. New York Bob flopping a queen, He is leading out. Ivan making the call. And we'll see if Nick puts in the raise here. Kind of like a raise here with bottom 2 pair. Pretty vulnerable hand. Maybe if it was just heads up, you might flat. And looks like Nick disagrees as he's just gonna flat with bottom 2 pair. 7 coming.
I think last time they broke the record of how many hours people were playing. So we're getting bigger.
A New York Bob bet figures somebody has the ace. Actually, nobody has the ace, but Nick has 2 pair. $172 in the pot. Maybe about a $100 bet. Maybe. Somewhere between 75 and 100. And it looks like he's going to bet just over 100. 105. Bob should be done with this hand, and Ivan should be done with this hand. That doesn't mean that they're not done with the hand. It's going to be hard for New York Bob to call with a player behind. I think if Ivan wasn't behind, then New York Bob might get curious. Ivan with just bottom pair here has to know that it's not good, and he will let it go.
I'm advertising the hijack.
Want to win a brand new Chevy Trailblazer SUV? The Trailblazer Points Championship is here. The more you play and the higher you rank in the Trailblazer Poker Tour, the better your chances are. The best tournament player in the Trailblazer Poker Tour drives away with this grand prize. For full details on the Trailblazer Poker Tour and the Points Championship, visit TexasCardHouse.com.
Keep in mind, it is a double points stop for here, Texas Card House Rio Grande Valley. So if you cashed in any, or if you played in any of the other Trailblazer events, if you played at TCH Social in Austin in October during the Trailblazer series, or if you played at TCH Spring, you played any event, you get points just for entering the event. And of course, if you cash, you get more points. If you make a final table, you get even more points. And then obviously, if you win it, you get a ton of points. But this will be a double points event, and those points will get you a brand new car. So the player with the most points at the end of the series does win a brand new car. And then on top of that, the top 50 in points are entered into a 50K free roll. Nick with a small raise just to 15, and he's going to pick up a worse queen and a worse ace. He has both these players dominated, and he's going to flop a gut shot, and Torito going to be flopping a open ender with the queen 9. Really small bet here of $20. Nick should be calling, hoping for a spade, obviously with like a king. And there's the spade. So it's going to go check around as nobody has the jack. Oh, and it's going to be a chop pot if we go to showdown. Torito missing his straight draw. He did bet on the flop. Oh, he's going to bet here. It's going to be a decent amount, $107 in the pot. This might work. One of these aces might get curious, though. It's a pretty gutsy bet here from Torito. Bluffing into 2 opponents on a double paired board. Let's see if he's going to be able to hang on, or if he's going to get bucked off.
I like playing the P&O table. I call every fucking hand. As long as it's fucking good and not too expensive.
Yeah, it looks like Ivan's thinking about it here.
You don't know what's gonna hit, bro. I already noticed. I was like, shit, as long as I like my cards and the rate's not too high.
He's still thinking. He's worried about Nick behind him. He just might be too curious, and he is. It's the right call. So if Nick was thinking about calling, now he's not going to be able to call because you're essentially just calling to chop here. Is Nick going to call too? No. Like I said, he can't call because you're basically calling to chop with just the ace high. And the ace high is going to be good. So we're also running satellites into the Trailblazer series. And these satellites, oh, the satellites already started. I didn't realize that. The first satellite was last Saturday. Saturday that just passed. And then we will have another satellite this Saturday. So you can get into the Trailblazer series for as low as $20, as there will be 3 seats guaranteed. 3 seats guaranteed for the Trailblazer series as part of these satellites. $20 buy-in. So, I was about to say somebody's cards did not get scanned properly, but actually the dealer didn't reset the hand. So they're just awarding the pot in the system to seat 9. There we go. And let's see if everybody's cards are scanned properly. Yeah, so I guess I forgot or didn't realize, but we had 17 people enter the satellite this past Saturday for $20. Of course, the 3 seats, they were guaranteed. They got given away. And 4th place even got some money. 4th place got a little money back, a little rebate. All right, looks like we are going 4 ways to a flop. Yeah, looks like 4 ways to a flop. 6, 7, 9. 2 clubs. Pretty big flop for Torito, as he has a flush draw and a straight draw. Very good hand to be check raising here if anybody puts out a continuation bet. And Newbie is going to put out a pretty big continuation bet. So Newbie betting $90 into the 105 pot. I thought a check raise would be good, but with the sizing, I think you could just maybe just call. No. Torito's plan was to check raise. And even though Newbie put out a pretty big bet there, he just has too much equity to not put in the raise here. So Newbie leading here with just the ace-4. And he's obviously going to have to let it go. So this Saturday, so that's Saturday, this Saturday the 14th, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, leading up into the Trailblazer Series, the week leading up to the Trailblazer Series, we will have satellites with 3 seats guaranteed. $20 buy-in, 15K starting chips, 5K early bird bonus, 15-minute levels. Starting stack was actually 10K, and then you get the 5K bonus if you're here early. If you rebuy, you get 15K. 15-minute blind levels.
You had gloves also? I thought you had bigger gloves.
My buddy was at that Bills game that they played in the fucking Blizzard. He was there. He was sitting on the bottom. I'm like, Why? I like it a lot better on my camera. Yeah.
Hands up action.
So Pedro raising it up with the queen jack offsuit. Rene had $2 invested, and he's going to flop top pair here. See how he proceeds. He's going to lead right out. The quote-unquote donk bet. And Pedro actually getting paid because of the hijack app. That's what that is right there, making sure that he is getting paid properly. So if you do not know or have not heard, there is a app available for the Texas Card House. It is called Hijack, and you make deposits and withdrawals at your local Texas Card House. Of course, there are 6 Texas Card House locations across the state of Texas. 2 in North Texas, 2 in East Texas, 1 in Central Texas, and 1 in South Texas. So it is an app you can play on your phone. And Pedro went in about $300 or $400 on the app, so cashing out here, easy peasy.
In case it comes down to that.
So newbie just checking his option here. He has 10s and everybody limped. I don't see or don't understand why I'm still surprised by some of newbie's moves, but it is in his name. They are who we thought they were. So newbie getting out of the way now that the 2 overcards have shown up. Queen coming on the turn. Ivan called with the gut shot. Bob thinking about getting sticky here, but he had this issue the last time where he had a player left to act behind him. That player saved him money last time. But Bob is still going to get sticky here as he has bottom pair. Very draw-heavy board. A lot of straight draws, a lot of flush draws available. Bob hoping his opponent has one of those. 9-10, get in there. So Bob going to go into check it. And Rene figuring that he's not getting a call by a worse hand, so he takes the showdown value. So let's see if New York Bob puts out a straddle here. It looks like he is. I believe the max straddle is 20 on the button.
We have a $10 bonus straddle.
And he's going to straddle the minimum, which is $10.
$10 bonus straddle. Action starts in the small blind to play.
So action will start to the left of the dealer. And we will have a new dealer after this hand as we are 1 hour into tonight's stream. The dealers do change every hour on the stream. So we see the dealers twice as they each put in a 2 1-hour downs. Big Spoon making a full house with the Jack Deuce earlier, so he's going to call the raise. Newbie raising it out of the small blind here with the 5 high. And Bob pretty much priced in as it's an extra $15 for him to call, and he'll do just that. Queen high flop, 2 hearts. Big Spoon flopping a flush draw. Action is on Newbie, but he is going to check. $80 in the pot. Big Spoon with a flush draw. He's going to put out about a $35 bet, and that should take care of it, and does. So dealer change coming, and we will once again remind you about the. Well, actually, we'll let you know about the Poker Atlas Tour. I think that's wrapping up. That's wrapping up this weekend in Austin.
For the first time ever, the Poker Atlas Tour is coming to TCH Social Austin, December 3rd through 16th. 15 different tournaments, including the $250,000 stocking stuffer and the $500,000 title event. For full details, structures, and satellite information, visit the Poker Atlas app or TexasCardHouse.com.
Yeah, title event this weekend. If you're in the Central Texas area, the Austin area, TCH Social. Oh, little freeze. There we go.
Yeah, 2-5. You don't even know?
All right, so dealer change. I believe it is Ashley. Yep. The French tips. So right when she sat down, the internet slowed down. Let's see. All right, there we go. I was about to say it should clear up. Yeah, Ashley in the box goes by Ash Cash. All right, looks like we are going 4 ways to a flop of just under $100. Best hand right now, Big Spoon. And now New York Bob with the best hand with the trip queens. Looks like it's going to go check around to New York Bob. And he's going to check as well. And that's a big turn for the Big Spoon as he turns his straight. Ivan turning a flush draw. And Big Spoon with a small bet here. Looks like $20 into 100. So New York Bob making the call, and let's see if that brings Ivan along as well. It does bring Ivan along. Ivan looking for a flush. New York Bob wanting the board to pair. And, oh, everybody gets there. So dangerous river as Ivan makes his flush, but Bob makes his full house. And Big Spoon going to be betting his straight here. So New York Bob should be raising here, and this might save Ivan some chips. Depending on how big New York Bob raises, Ivan might be able to get away from his flush. As his flush is only 7 high and the board is paired. But as I said, yeah, New York Bob raising it up to 175. So action is on Ivan. There we go. And as I said, this race, so Big Spoon betting 50 on the river. New York Bob making it 175. You can see Ivan has about 450 in his stack. So this is for a good amount of his stack. Like I said, this raise might save him money. He did call for a diamond. He got a diamond. But now he doesn't like the bet and the raise. Oh, Ivan makes the fold. Yeah, Ivan. Yeah, so I am able to hear the conversation at the table. So New York Bob did get a call, and it was from the Big Spoon. Big Spoon called him with the straight. So nice fold there by Ivan. All right, so I think it was just that first hand where we had a little lag on the internet. Should be back good to go. As I don't think Nick is at his seat, but he just sat down and he will post his big blind. Everybody's cards getting scanned properly, and we are good to go. Big Spoon just losing the last hand. We saw El Jefe do this earlier. Lost the big hand, raises immediately with some non-premium cards. Big Spoon doing the same thing as newbie. Makes the call here with the Jack 10. Silos making the call with the suited ace, and Nick with the suited queen, as we're going 4 ways to a $60 pot, and it's going to come ace high. The 3 big cards on the board, and you be flopping a straight with a royal flush draw. I don't know if the ace of clubs is still out, but we saw El Jefe turn a royal flush draw earlier, did not get it, but this time you be flopping the straight with the redraw. And Silos is actually the one that's going to be leading out here to 25. Both Nick and Big Spoon folding. Action is on Yubi. He should be just calling here, but he does make unorthodox plays. Yeah, he just called. And now, with the Jack coming, Silos is going to lead again. Little scary lead with the 4 high cards on the board, and Silos just has one of those cards. So Silos is finally going to slow down, and Yubi going to put out a small bet here, a please call me bet, $60. And Silos is not going to call him.
I want to see what he says when I hold him flush or not, bro. Yeah, no, he's awesome. Oh, sure, he pulled it.
So I believe all these players have played on the stream before, with the exception of seat 9, Ivan. But I believe all the other players have played at least once before. It is a little different when you play on the stream because the game is actually a little bit slower, as the dealer does have to communicate the action with the production crew. That is why the dealer has the headset on. The dealer basically has to announce every action by the player. So anytime a player folds, anytime a player calls or raises, they have to announce the action. And then, of course, they will announce if there is any amount to go along with that.
I checked it to see what they did, man, because that was the first position.
So he's over here folding flushes, but he's calling for
On that hand, I don't joke. And I could have been wrong. I was going to make it 350.
Were you?
75.
And I had ace queen.
Yeah, I know he's saying that.
So actually,
I saw that.
the stream is not lagging from what I see, but my screen is lagging.
And you would have, like, everybody's gone real quick. Yeah,
That's a little different.
That's what I was saying too. I was like, I was just telling him, I won that hand. I won
See if
both
this
because
Ethernet
it's
cable
gonna
is
it's
hooked
gonna
up
be hard
good.
to put you on that.
I'm actually in the same building.
So I had the flush draw. Ace 2.
This is not a remote stream, so I'm in the same building, but everything looks like it's streaming good, but for whatever reason on my end, it's lagging.
I defeated everybody.
I'm supposed to have a jack.
Yeah.
I don't know what this guy was doing, but that's
All right, so it is a $75
I'm gonna
raise
lose everything.
from the Ace King, and it looks like everybody's calling the raise. So if you are watching, chances are you're if you're watching on YouTube, at least it is not lagging, but my screen for whatever is lagging, and it's going to come queen high as New York Bob flops a gut shot needing a jack, but that's going to be no good as the jack would give the ace king a straight. Rene hitting the 10. He has the best 10 right now as we go to a turn. Ooh, that turn's going to hurt Silos as he's going to hit top pair.
I go 75. Yeah. On the flop, checks. I bet 25, 150.
So Big Spoon going all in with the ace. Oh, this might save Silos. It does not. It does not. So Silos looking for a king or a queen. Big Spoon is drawn dead. D-E-D, dead. Cannot hit a 3 as Rene has aces up right now. Oh, Silos going to hit his jack. I forgot about the jack as an out. And let's see if Rene does not like that jack. That is a jack on the river. Oh, he makes the quick fold. He knows that his 2 pair is no longer good. So nice fold by Rene, and Big Spoon going to be jumping up. I don't know if he's going to rebuy. So the card reader picking up a 4 of hearts on the river, but we saw it was a jack making the straight for Silos. So Silos hitting the river, running good with the Texas Card House hoodie.
No, he had the best hand.
He did have the best hand.
On a pot like that, it's better to be lucky.
Oh, yeah. Take that.
And the lucky hand. That time is best hand.
So my feed seems to be okay now. It was lagging. Essentially, it is a 3-person operation here at the Texas Card House for this stream. You see one of the persons, you hear another person, the third person is invisible to you. But you have the dealer who you see, dealer with the headphones communicating to the production crew who you do not see, and then you have the commentator, which you hear.
Big part of his range, not like 100%, but I thought he might have ace queen right here if the jack comes in. I'm still good with a 10 or a king.
I feel like New York Bob's going to call this 3-bet. He has a suited ace, 40% of a royal. It is a small 3-bet as well. Is he thinking about putting in a 4-bet? Nah, I think he's just going to call. Oh, he's going to put in a raise.
They were up 11, and this guy went on an 8-0 run or something like that.
So how is Torito going to react to this 4-bet? Or was the 10 a straddle? Yeah, I'm sorry, the 10 was a straddle, so this is a 3-bet. There was a $10 straddle. Nick with the 7s. Nick with the 7s. It's a small 3-bet. It went from 10 to 30 to 100. Nick has a pair and he has position. Oh, Torito folding the 10s quickly. Nice fold. And Rene says if you have this hand beat, good luck to you. And now Bob does not like this, but it looks like he's getting priced in here. He made it 100, and it looks like about 220 total, 222. Deuces are wild. Yeah, it's 222, so Bob cannot fold here as he's getting a great price. And this is probably going to bring in Nick, as I'm sure Nick knows that his sevens are not good right now with this action in front. So Nick really hoping for a 7. 7 of diamonds for fun?
He's a true master. He wished us all good luck.
All right. So obviously something was punched in wrong. This is not a $2,000 pot. So Nick knew he wasn't good, and now with the ace, queen, and 9 on the board, he's going to know for sure. What does New York Bob do? Oh, New York Bob's going to save Nick some money here. As Nick was pretty much drawn dead, he would need running 7s. Should be a quick fold from Nick here. There's the quick fold. And New York Bob's going to need some help. So New York Bob going to need some running diamonds, or some running straight cards. So he's going to need a king, a queen, a king, a jack, a king or a jack, or a diamond, or an ace. So he won't be drawn dead. He might be drawn dead on the turn here. See what the turn is. Like I said, he might be drawn dead if he doesn't get a diamond, a king, an ace, or a jack. Torito letting the table know that he did fold 10s pre-flop to the 3-bet. And just making sure that all the action cycles through. There we go. So you can see what the actual size of the pot is. That's what the delay was. We're just getting the right size on the pot. They punched in a wrong amount. All right, so Bob, will he get a diamond? So $681. Bob's drawn dead. New York Bob is drawn dead. 6 of diamonds should have come on the turn to give him hope. But instead, the set of Rene going to be taking it down. $681 pot. So that is the proper amount. So Logan wants us to bring back the row. That's going to be our Friday stream. We are streaming row on Friday. Row, R-O-E, round of each. So that's going to be on the main channel, TCH Live. TCH Live for row this Friday. Tonight we're playing 2-5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there was a delay. There was a delay just because the stack sizes were incorrect before the hand started. So when a player moved all in, it was showing that the pot was over 2,000 when it was actually 680.
Yeah. So it's not like, hey, Texas guy goes or something.
The crazy part is one time I was well, there's a video on the lodge live stream.
Trying to keep your attention.
Crazy. They play for serious money, so the guy's taking forever. And the
Oh, he's trying to wait for it to catch up?
bro, he comes in and he's like, you literally have like 1 minute before he catches up on the stream.
So New York Bob losing last hand, raising it up with the Queen 10 of spades. And we are going 3 ways to a flop.
He has somebody on standby real quick.
Airball, yeah, was one of those, right?
So New York Bob flopping a straight draw and a flush draw. And he's going to put out a bet here. Betting one-third pot. And this should get it done as none of his opponents have an ace or a king. And it will get it done. So I do know that it wasn't lagging on YouTube. However, it did lag earlier, and I just moved one of the wires here. I think maybe it was just in a weird position, the connection to the Ethernet. As I said, we are live on the YouTube chat. What's the weather like in LA, Rebel Poker? It was in the 60s here today, which is cold for South Texas. Pretty sure that's cold for Southern California, too.
I know. I think you were ahead 68 to 56 or something. Something like that.
Yeah, they feel like idiots right now.
So Newbie raising it here with the 9 high. And New York Bob going to be calling him with the 7 high. Queen high flop. Newbie was your initial raiser. Let's see if he puts out a continuation bet. He is cutting out chips. $77 in the pot. Newbie will put out the C bet. And this should work. New York Bob just has 7 high here, and he'll let it go.
As soon as I folded my hand, I regretted it. I think it was good for final marks.
So New York Bob will be big blind, $2, $5. There's the $5 big blind. And action will be under the gun, UTG. It's going to be on Newbie. We saw him raise earlier. Under the gun +2 with 9 high. So we'll see what he does now with 7 high. He's going to be limping. Do not try this at home.
And if someone beats me, then even better. It's a bad beat.
Oh, when I had this raise.
So it is folded around to Nick, and Nick has the aces. Nick taking it up to 25. I do like this raise, as 2 people called an early position. Normally, they should have pretty good hands. And it looks like both those players are going to call. One of them with 7 high, the other one with King 8 offsuit. And we're going 3 ways to a flop of $82 in the middle. 9-9-4. I think if I had the ace of spades, I would actually check it back here. But with no ace of spades, you want to charge a possible flush draw. We see that nobody has that flush. Oh, Newbie putting on a move here. Spoiler alert, this move is not going to work. At least here on the flop, it's not going to work. Nick is not folding aces. And Big Spoon has not come back, so I believe we have an open seat. Jack of Diamonds coming on the turn. Does Newbie pump the brakes? Oh, Newbie's just representing this 9. It's a 9 or nothing for Newbie, as he's going to bet the turn here. And he's going to bet the turn to the tune of $150. This really looks like he has the 9 here. So Nick going to be making the call. Looks like we have somebody that's taking Big Spoon's seat. And we are going to a river. Newbie's going to have to empty the clip here. Oh, that's actually an 8, not an ace. That's an 8. You can see there's over $500 in the pot, and that's an 8 of hearts on the river. So Newbie's pretty much going to have to empty the clip here if he wants for this bluff to work. He is on a stone cold 100% bluff. Check raising the flop. Check raising aces. Oh, he's finally going to give up. He's going to wave the white flag. And Nick doesn't know what to do now.
They're really in right now. The case is like walking out. Do you have the case? In that style?
Yeah, so Nick puts out a bet and UB immediately folds. And looks like we have somebody taking that seat. The Yeti.
I think you would let me hang myself.
I would have called your choice.
But you know what I really did? I thought you had a pocket pair, just not somewhere in the with the board pairing.
Let's see whose seat number 3 is. They will put, yeah, it's going to be Rock. It looked like Rock. Rock coming in for 980. I'm actually in a fantasy football league with Rock, both of us making the playoffs. Of course, I finished with a better record than him. Doesn't matter. You're in the playoffs. We're on opposite sides of the bracket, so we can meet in the championship. Let us know in the comments if you made the playoffs in your fantasy football league. As we have an under the gun straddle here coming from Ivan. And somebody's cards did not get scanned properly. There we go. So if somebody's cards do not get scanned properly, the camera actually pauses and waits for the cards to get rescanned. So Rock coming in with a hand that he could have raised with, but instead he's just going to call his first hand. So just going to kind of feel out the table, doesn't know how the table is playing. And we're going 5 ways to a flop of $50. Oh, Rock flopping trips. Newbie with the king. Newbie's liable to lead out here. And that's exactly what he does. Rock going nowhere with trips. And the high hand already paid out. The high hand paid out at 8. Rene calling with the diamonds. And Rock sitting down. First hand has a full house. Easy game. Should be checking here as he wants his opponents to catch up now that he basically has the nuts. And looks like that's exactly what he does. And Rene's going to fall in the trap here. Newbie should know his king is no longer good. Let's see if Rock just calls here. Yeah, Rock just making the call. Rene does not want to see a diamond or a queen. And there's the diamond. Does Rock check again? Nah, he's not going to check again. He's going to get paid, though. Rene's going to pay him. Yeah, a snap call. Rene called for a diamond. He got a diamond. He's not folding. So that is a high hand, but oh, wait. He hit it. We're on a 15-minute delay, so this happened at 8 o'clock.
No, it is. It was the last hand, bro.
Last hand.
The last hand, it's 7:59.
Hey,
That
you
is
gotta
gross. That is
go take
gross.
the money away from the other person.
That's gross, bro.
Oh, so this was literally the last hand for high hand, as it was at 8 o'clock. It's at 8:15 right now, so this was literally the last hand, and the hand did start before 8 o'clock. They're letting Rock know you just want $500. Wow. Talk about right place, right time for Rock. He takes the open seat, gets dealt in before 8 o'clock. First hand hits a full house. It's good enough for the high hand to win $500. And he won the pot as well.
Hey, go put him on the bus.
Do you even know there was high hand? No, I thought it was a square. No.
You didn't pay that guy out, right? No, it's not paying out. Oh, yeah, you did it, man. That was done before the dealer.
So interesting first hand for Rock. And I think he's going to take this hand off, as it does get folded around to Torito. And he's going to call. Rene with the ace-king takes it up to 30. A little small on the size in. You can see he's picking up 2 callers.
I knew somebody had it in the full house already. Because 3 people called on the flop.
So Ivan does flop a straight draw and a flush draw. He has the queen of hearts, so it is the nut flush draws. Both the ace and the king are accounted for. And it looks like Rene's going to put out about a half pot size bet. A little more than half. Looks like 60.
They hit the high head.
And it is 60. Ivan going to be making a quick call with his 2 draws. And here comes the turn. That is not the jack of hearts. We can see that is the 9 of clubs. Ivan's going to check, hoping that Rene gives him a free card. Well, it's basically a free card with that tiny bet. Bets 40 into a pot of over $200. Ivan will gladly call the 40, looking for a 10, looking for a heart. To the river we go, and it's going to be a heart. So Ivan rivers the nuts, $300 in the pot. Oh, he's going to check, and Rene checks behind quickly. So Ivan missing out on some value there. Ivan missing out on some value by checking on the river.
And a straight draw too. Yeah, I was like, I had the nuts and a straight draw. But I was
So this Friday we will be streaming as we normally do on the main channel, TCH Live. Of course, this is the secondary channel. I know a lot of times just with most YouTube videos, sometimes you find it by accident. The algorithm recommends the video, so if you found this stream by accident, this is actually the secondary channel for all Texas Card House locations. So if you're still not subscribed to this channel, make sure you do so, as we have over 50 subscribers to TCH Live, and we only have 2,000 to this channel. So we are trying to build up the secondary channel. As I said, all of the Texas Card House locations stream on this channel. And we are going 6 ways to a flop. Queen high flop, ace queen looking nice. Silos with the hearts. Also has some backdoor straight draws. Pedro with middle pair. He's going to let it go. Oh, Rene calling here with the 7, second pair. And Carlos folding his flush draw. A little surprised there. Doesn't think his hearts are going to be good. You would have turned a pair to go along with the flush draw. Always nice to play what would have happened. As Nick going to be sizing up the turn here to 75. Rene does have the 7 of hearts, which means that it's less likely for his opponent to be on a hard draw. So Rene's finally going to believe that his opponent has the queen. And as we can see, he did have the queen.
You started qualifying at 3 o'clock, and it pays off at 8. So say if you hit a straight flush in the first at 3 o'clock, you gotta play for 5 hours to get paid off.
So I believe they are actually paying out rock right now. It is $500 cash, straight cash, homie. The action's on rock. His cards are not scanned, and the reason why is because he's getting his photo taken for the social medias. Our social media, tch.rgv. You can find us on the Facebook as well as the Instagram. Yeah, so action on Rock. He'll get his card scanned, and he's just going to call blind as he is getting paid his high hand right now. Pedro's cards were not scanned. All right, there we go. And Rock looks like he put the $500 in his pocket.
Yeah, he's already like.
So Rene raising it up, and Yubi just calling with the queens. Not put it on the 3-bet. I'm surprised and not surprised at the same time. All right, 4 ways we go. And there's the ace. Nobody has an ace, but obviously Newbie does not know that. Rene, the initial raiser, flopping a pair and a flush draw. Also has backdoor spades, but looks like he's going to slow down multi-ways here. Newbie, who chose to play his queens slow pre-flop, looks like he's going to play them fast post-flop once the ace arrives. Oh, Ivan calling with his gut shot. He also has a backdoor flush draw. Let's see a club on the turn. Club for fun. Oh! So now, Newbie's going to hit his straight, but he is getting free rolled. 2 pair for Rene. We might have a pretty big pot brewing here. 1 player with 2 pair. 1 player with a straight. One player with a straight, but has clubs to go with it. And Newbie doesn't think anybody has a queen. He's going to go all in. And let's see. All right, they're going twice. Twice announced. Newbie does not want to see a club. Newbie does not want to see a club. Okay, that's not a club. Doesn't want to see a club. That's not a club. So it is going to be a chop pot after all that. So they will chop it up. And as they chop it up, vamos a platicar de el Trailblazer.
Atención jugadores de póker del Valle. Trailblazer Tour de $60,000 llega a Texas Card House RGV desde el 19 al 29 de diciembre. Solo $175 para entrar, además de múltiples premios. Habrán 2 oportunidades diarias para entrar. Para más detalles visite a texascardhouse.com.
So you can see the dealer just chopping up the pot as we get ready to move on to the next hand. So on the bottom of the screen, the bottom of the banner there, these are some unique things to this particular stop for the Trailblazer series. First thing right off the bat, 2x points. Also, one person will automatically qualify for the 50K free roll. You do get a bag bonus where if you bag twice, more than twice, you take your biggest 2 bags forward and you get a min cash on the other one. And if you have the most entries, then you will get unlimited hours for next year. New York Bob raising it to 20 with the suited queen. Ivan just making the call in the cutoff with the ace queen. And Rock will come along as we're going 3 ways to a flop. And it's going to come queen high. So something for everybody on the flop. Second pair for Rock, and he's actually going to put out a donk bet here, hoping none of his opponents have a queen, and he's going to find out that his opponents have a queen. So to the turn we go, still 3 ways. So Rock picking up a straight draw. New York Bob also picking up a straight draw, but it will be no good. He does have a queen though, but he's gonna slow down here. $137 in the pot. Small bet, about a quarter size bet coming from Ivan. And both players making the quick call as we still are 3 ways going to the river. And it's gonna be, oh, it's gonna be trouble for New York Bob. The only good thing is Diamond's got there, so this might save New York Bob. What? It went check around? New York Bob gonna show the queen? Wow. So check around on the river. New York Bob checking his trips, and Ivan also checking his trips.
Hey, bro, we saw you call with ace high. Right. Like, what?
So the table giving Ivan a hard time for not betting his hand. They actually told Ivan, we saw you call with ace high on the river earlier. That's true. It was a double paired board, and he called with ace high. He was actually right. So $10 button straddle coming from Nick on the button. Action will be on Rock. Rock making the quick fold. Pedro needed another 5. Will not. Torito not at his seat. Rene raising it up to tray 5. 35 with the 10s. Looks like it's going to fold around to Nick. Silos folded the ace queen. What's going on here? So Ivan with ace queen, the previous hand, checking trips, and now Silos folding to a $35 raise. You can see it is currently 8:14. This is when this hand took place. Of course, we're on the 15-minute delay, so that's going to take us to 8:29. The math checks out. All right, 8:30 now.
For an hour, and then come and play for like 20, get up for an hour, come in, because you're paying for the time, bro. You're paying for your spot. You're paying for it, and your chips are live. You know? They're flying you out, or they're not flying you out, but you're still getting charged for the hour. You gotta be. Yeah. So if you cash out, you're done.
So we'll see if newbie.
Did you cash out? Was it forfeit? I'm guessing. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, you have to be playing. You can't cash out and come back. You can't.
So if you cash out, does your hand forfeit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It goes off? No.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I don't know.
All right, no straddle this hand.
It'll be an open 9 hand.
Rene or Rini, depending on where you're from, makes the fold.
There is if they kept the list, and the person who had previously had the high hand should be put back up to be the high hand.
Yes. I
To
agree with that.
me, that seems more fair than
I
just
agree
opening
with
it up
that.
to
I
everybody.
agree with that. That's actually.
That's a good one, though.
Just an idea for the suggestion, but
Queen high flop. It is Rock flopping middle pair with the 5s. Newbie flopping a gut shot. Rock's going to lead out. Does not want to see a 3 on the turn, as it will give Newbie a straight. Newbie needs an ace,
It's not a hard thing to do.
a 4, or a 3.
they're putting it on the board so they know who it is. They have a record.
A Rock turning a flush draw to go along with his bottom pair.
That person, let's just say they hit the high.
And he's going to continue to bet here.
I think the hand before
And now newbie will make the fold.
Right now,
Yeah, that happened to me.
you just open it up and it just becomes open for
Pretty much nullified.
So as I said, this Friday, somebody was asking about the round of each. We are playing a round of each this Friday on the main channel, TCH Live. Of course, here at the Texas Card House Rio Grande Valley, we will have our free roll Friday frenzy. It is $2,000 guaranteed for free, literally free money, costs you $0. The only requirement is you must be a member. Must be a member. Daily memberships available for $10, monthly memberships available for $30, and yearly memberships available for $300. But as one of the benefits of being a member to the Texas Card House, you can play in the Free Roll Friday Frenzy at 6 p.m. every Friday night. $10 live straddle. Under the gun, New York Bob putting on the under the gun straddle. And he's going to have a flat tire. Of course, that's what you need a jack for. Both players with jacks here. Miguel. And both players going to flop a straight draw. New York Bob checking. Pedro checks quickly behind, and we will go to a turn. And did they hit the straight? Yeah, both of them hit the straight. Both of them are hoping that the other player has a pair. Looks like they both have the same hand. This is going to be a chop pot. Oh, there's going to be a straight on the board. So now these players are really... See if Pedro raises here. Should be raising. No, he just calls. So both players with the jacks. So I said this when the stream first began. It's kind of weird because I've seen it in a lot of different card rooms where the 2-5 for whatever reason tends to play actually tighter than the 1-2, tighter than the 1-3. As I said, me personally, I think if you're trying to establish a 2-5, that you just need to get rid of the 1-3 and offer a 1-2 and a 2-5. That's what I think. But I think other card houses have tried to do that, and the players are just really so used to playing 1-3, they don't want to step out of their 1-3 zone.
She gave him money after she won the hand. She gave him money, and then what she gave the guy is all his money back.
Yeah, he donated it to charity. You know that? He did? Yeah, he's like, Garrett? And he didn't play poker for like a year and a half. Stop, right?
Oh, Ivan with the ace-king, he's raising it up to 20. Silos with the deuces makes the call.
Was he just a professional poker player? Yes.
He's like one of the best.
Rene going to be defending here with the dog, the K9. And Bob going to be getting a pretty good price with these middle cards. And he will pay the price, and we will go 4 ways to a $85 pot. No, an $80 pot.
Like, shit's money is the goal. That guy has high, like, generation.
King high flop coming. That's good news for Ivan, bad news for Rene. And Rene's going to lead right out with the 2 hearts on the board. $40 bet in exactly half pot. Let's see if Ivan just calls here. Has no heart in his hand. Kind of like a raise here, but Ivan is just going to call. And we're going to go to a turn.
Yeah. It's like a hammer or a screwdriver.
Heart coming on the turn. Let's see if that freezes the action. It's going to get Rene to check. Ivan's going to put out a small bet, actually a $65 bet. Rene does not like that heart, but he was actually beat before that. Rene asking his opponent if he has a flush. Rene with not much chips left. Oh, he's going to show the king. He will make the fold. And Ivan will show the ace-king, letting him know he made a good fold. I actually don't like showing in that situation. In general, obviously everybody's different. In general, I don't like showing, especially in that situation where the player makes a good laydown. You don't want to let your opponent know, hey, bro, you're playing good. But that's my view. Obviously, everybody has their own view on the situation. I do love to show when you pull off a bluff, because I feel like it has a chance to put your opponent on tilt.
That could end the stream real quick.
So let's see if all the cards got scammed properly. Yep, they did. Ivan with, now he has the K9. He's just going to be making the call under the gun. Nick with the sixes, putting in a $30 raise here. Playing the sixes aggressive. Torito calling with the two face cards. They're the worst two face cards, but they are face cards. Queen Jack offsuit. New York Bob should be getting rid of this King 5 and does. Newbie, I have no idea what he's going to do. He has no idea what he's going to do. And looks like the voices in his head tell him to call, and he will. And we are going 4 ways to a flop of over $100. And it's going to come Jack, Jack, 6. Not a good flop for the sixes, but a nice flop for Torito, as he does flop 3 of a kind. Newbie flopping open-ended, but we can see a queen is no good. Oh, Nick's going to lead here. Doesn't think anybody has a jack in this situation, but he is wrong. It's a small bet, only $40 into a $120 pot, so about a third of the pot. Torito, what does he do? Does he just call? Yeah, he just calls. Let's see if Newbie flop an open-ender. I don't see him folding here, but a queen is not going to be good for him. And Newbie's confirming the amount, checking the math, making the call, and we are going to a turn 3 ways. Newbie looking for a 7, Nick looking for a 6. Instead, it's going to be a trade. 2 diamonds on the board now. Newbie checking. Hopefully, everybody checks. I don't think Torito's checking. $242 in the pot. And he's thinking how much to bet. Has about $400 in his stack. Looks like he's going to bet. Oh, he's going to put out, no, just 1 stack. So let's see if Newbie chooses to continue here. Looks like $91. 86 actually. Yeah, Newbie likes the price he's getting. If he knew that the queen was no good, he would fold here. But obviously, everybody's an expert when they can see the cards. Some people yelling at the screen, fold, bro, fold. Does this price in Nick? No, it does not. So Newbie looking for a 7, not a queen. A queen will be gross. It's a king of diamonds, so backdoor diamonds get there. Feel like Newbie's just going to shut down here, and he does. Torito with the diamonds get in there. Let's see if he wants to go for some thin value. And he is going for some thin value here. Hoping his opponent has a jack, as he does like his queen kicker. We can see his opponent does not have a jack, so Newbie will let it go. And we will remind you about the Sunday tournament. So Sunday tournament is $20 to enter, but you do get more start and stack, and you do get a longer blind level. So Sundays, it's $1,000 guaranteed, $20 to enter, $20 to rebuy. 20-minute levels every Sunday at 4 p.m.
He's already doing it then.
That's the reason that guy was sitting on the
The full house,
table.
like, let's just say somebody gets a high hand and then yours gets beat.
And you came in
And
the
then that
last 2
person
minutes.
plus that has to leave. So it opens
The
up
poker
to-
bluffer. Welcome to the strat. Yo, yo, yo.
Goes back to the previous high hand.
We don't say yo, yo, yo in Texas. We say all right, all right, all right.
They're still playing.
A lot of players have gotten queens tonight. This time it's New York Bob's turn, and he's going to raise it up to 20. Newbie calling with the sixes. Ivan getting out of the way, and we're going heads up to a flop. Newbie needing a 6. Jack high flop. Actually, both 6s have been folded. So Newbie needs runner to make a straight. Bob going to be putting out another $20. Newbie might call him here. Kind of makes sense to call here. So now Newbie officially drawn dead. He could have gone runner straight. And I think now Newbie's going to be done with the hand as New York Bob going to put out a second barrel. Oh, Newbie's still not a believer. So an ace or king will actually save Newbie money here. The board pairing will not. And that card might also save him money. So Newbie checking again. Hoping his 6s are good. But 6s are not going to be good as New York Bob shows the ladies.
He wouldn't play loose, bro. He would fold him twice. He would have hit the flush. I would have picked a long time ago with 2,400 and $100 over here. Like,
Is that there? When we're playing this table back there?
no, it was over there in the east.
Crazy. You don't want to play 6 in the morning.
I was like, you should call. I would give him that. I didn't tell him you should call. I give him that, like, call. You have clubs, bro. This is the one we need. I know he wouldn't call.
So Newbie now putting on the button straddle.
So what?
I hit that one time. I don't do it no more. I only went there one time.
So I believe, of course, there's a ton of poker training sites, poker coaching sites out there. But I believe it is the Solve for Why guys that have the Poker Out Loud. If you've never seen it, it's a really cool concept they have is they do have a streaming table. So all of the players are actually wearing headsets where they cannot hear the other players. So as the action is going along, the players will tell you what they're thinking, why they're making a certain move, or why they're betting a certain amount. And of course, they're essentially just talking to the camera and all the other players, including them. They have a headset on where they're listening to music where they cannot hear the other players talk. But what that does, it allows them to kind of go through their thought process. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's that poker training site. There's a ton of training sites out there, but I think it's the Solve for Why, and they have the podcast. I think it's like a daily podcast, Only Friends podcast, but they have a Poker Out Loud feature. And the reason why I bring it up is because I would be very interested to see what Newbie is thinking on a lot of these situations, on why he makes certain plays. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think he even knows why he makes some of the plays.
You're in the right. Maybe cash at his house. 15, 20 minutes. 15, 20 minutes. You don't believe in banks.
You're gonna lose the high hand, dude.
Yeah. We're not believing in
Well, if he has all that cash in his house,
Everybody wants.
All right, New York Bob with the queens gets an upgrade here with the kings now. Pedro making it 33. Larry Bird, Larry Legend, Rene making a light call here, and he's immediately going to regret that light call as New York Bob is putting on the 3-bet with the Cowboys. Making it 150 more, so more than a 5x raise here. Probably sizing it up since there's 2 players involved. Pedro with the ace queen of clubs. I saw him actually fold ace king pre-flop last week on one of the streams. So we'll see what he does with the ace queen suited. Granted, the ace king was not suited. This ace queen is. But he is facing a pretty big 3-bet here from New York Bob. New York Bob can get out of line, and I think that's what's going through Pedro's mind. But Pedro will make the fold. Rene will show his napkins, and New York Bob will show the kings. As I said, different folks, different strokes for different folks. But I would not show the kings in that situation. But I guess another train of thought, which I think a lot of these players think this way, which it's true. I'm not going to say it's not true, is that the players are going to find out anyway. They know they're on the stream table, and these players are going to find out within 15 minutes, possibly within 15 minutes, as we're in a 15-minute delay. So really kind of showing good sportsmanship there by showing.
Sucks is that he called the flop and he kind of pretty much committed to it.
And that's like my wish. That's the only hand I've gotten.
You knew that you could win without having you don't want to gamble.
Yeah. That's why I told myself, he has fucking kings. Yeah, we won 3. I gotta hit myself. I will.
Hey, but
Definitely had a drawing hand. Not a drawing hand, but not a front.
So over $100 in the pot. It looks like everybody's going to check. No, Silo's going to be betting his 2-pair, bottom 2-pair. Less than half pot here. We'll see if he gets a call from the queen. Somebody else had a queen. Flush draw for Renan. He doesn't have much left in his stack. He might go with this hand, as he does have a gut shot straight draw as well. That's exactly what he's doing. He is going with the hand. And that's going to price in low. He was never folding 2-pair either way, but he is calling for sure now. So they're going to go twice. Rene saying that he's chasing a flush, but you're also chasing a straight with a 10. And we can see all 3 10s are live. All 3 10s are in the deck. 10's coming. 10's coming. Nope. All right. And there's the 10. So I knew the 10 was coming. It just came on the second run out when he didn't need it. Made the flush already. So we're going to chop the pot. And by we, I mean the dealer. Hey, if you're looking for some free time here at the Texas Card House, we are having a toy drive accepting donations through December the 23rd, which of course is Festivus for the rest of us. It's a toy drive. You will receive 2 free hours when you bring 1 unwrapped gift here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley. So don't forget about the toy drive. If you're thinking about coming out to play for the Trailblazer Series next week, bring a toy with you and you'll get some free hours here at the Texas Card House RGV. And we have a dealer change. So we have Jeremiah coming back, which of course means we got the commercial.
Attention Rio Grande Valley poker players. The $60,000 guaranteed Trailblazer Poker Tour is coming to Texas Card House RGV from December 19th through December 29th. $175 buy-in. Tons of great perks for playing at this tour stop. Flights at 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. every day except Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. For full details, structure, and more, visit TexasCardHouse.com.
As I mentioned earlier, if you played at one of the previous stops at TCH Social Austin back in October or Texas Card House Spring last month in November, if you played at any of those stops and you already have points for the Chevrolet Trailblazer, this stop is going to be double points. So if you played in any of the previous events or know of somebody who played, make sure you let them know about our big event beginning next week here. All right, King High flop 2 hearts. And Pedro flopping bottom pair. He's the only player with a pair. And we're going to see a turn for free as now Pedro turns a straight draw. And he's still the only player with a pair. And we're going to a river. He's still the only player with a pair. It's hard to make a pair. And Torito's actually going to fold with no action. Oh, we got a bluff here. Newbie putting out a bluff. Doesn't think anybody has anything, and he's correct. So Newbie's going to get the bluff through, which is what I was about to mention. Some card houses have the rule. Some card houses do not, where you cannot fold facing no action like Torito did there. So the action was checked to him. There was no bet, and he chose to fold. Might not seem like a big deal, but I actually think that it can be a big deal, and that's why some card houses have the rule where you're not allowed to fold if you're not facing a bet. So it was checked to him, and he checked behind. And the reason why, give you a real good example, the reason why, it's like, let's say if you are to the river and you're 3 ways to the river and you miss your flush draw and you're last to act, or you miss your flush draw and you just fold with no action left in front of you. Well, it changes the dynamic now in the hand because the other 2 players now don't have to worry about you. So now it's either easier or harder to get a bluff through now based upon that setup. So that's one of the reasons why. And I know there's some card houses, I know there's some card rooms that have the rule where if it's checked to you, you're not allowed to fold. And that's one of the reasons why, because it does change the dynamic of a multi-way pot. So ace on the turn, bringing action here. So Ivan checking his ace. We'll see if Rock puts a bet out. And Rock is going to put a bet out. Ivan going to be calling. And he will win. So Ivan's starting to build up a stack. Like I said, it's his first time playing on the stream. I think he's enjoying himself. And, of course, you always enjoy yourself more when you're winning. We are just over halfway done with our stream tonight. Been streaming for 2 hours, 10 minutes. We will stream 4 hours when it's all said and done. No straddle. New York Bob going to be making the fold. Newbie going to be making the raise. Have no idea what he's raising with. He's raising with 5 high. Ivan makes the call with 9 high. Ivan just went in the last hand. Gonna see if he's on a heater. Can't win 2 in a row if you don't win 1 in a row. So we're going 5 ways to a $75 flop. Dorito with the best hand right now, the ace-10 of diamonds, and he's gonna flop a flush draw. Oh, Newbie might get in trouble here. Newbie with a huge flop. His straight draw's good, but his flush draw is not. And then on top of that, his opponent is holding one of his outs with the ace or the straight. Newbie just making the call. Oh no, Newbie with the min raise. Newbie raises it up, and Dorito just calls. Newbie just not want to see a diamond. All right, so far so good for Newbie. We'll see if any of these players slow down. Both players are just on draws. Newbie does have a very good draw, but his flush draw is no good. So essentially it's a straight draw versus a flush draw, and the ace high winning right now. So river coming. Newbie does not want to see a diamond, and Newbie's going to get lucky by not hitting the diamond. Newbie's going to have to put out a pretty big bet here. We can see it's already over $200 in the pot. Oh, Newbie puts out a tiny bet, and it's going to work. This is where you show. This is where you show, in my opinion. So New York Bob going to be big blind. Newbie going to be stacking his chips. Oh, we do have a button straddle. Torito straddling 10 on the button. So action's going to be on Rene. And he's just going to call with his pocket tens. Ivan with the suited queen. Nick with the king queen, raising it up to 40. I like the raise. I do not like the amount. You can see that everybody's calling. As a matter of fact, Rene going all in. I do like that move. The whole reason to limp in that position is to put in the back raise, and he does put in the back raise for 115. Nick's pretty much priced in, but he's in a good situation here. The classic pair versus over cards. Oh, Torito calling with the threes. He is in bad shape here. He's going to need some black cards.
Mr. Queen's over there.
The 3 of clubs, the 3 of spades still in the deck as we go 3 ways to a flop. Rene is all in. And there's the king. Rene does not like that flop. Not only is an ace on the board, but a king is on the board. They will check. Rene, oh, hitting his 10. Didn't like the flop, loves the turn. Nick still needs a jack. Nick will not hit his jack. Rene will triple up.
Two hearts. That's how it went down. So I was gonna flush draw top pair. Bob had a king queen.
So Rene with the triple up. He's still down for the stream. It was a $500 buy-in, and he is in for 1 buy-in, but he is down for the stream. But a big triple up's gonna get him close to being unstuck.
called if I have an ace. So if I call, you know you're beat.
So no straddle this hand. His action will be on Ivan under the gun, and he does fold. Silos in seat 1 makes the call for $5. Nick, who just lost the last pot with King Queen, looks like a seat 5 did not scan his cards, but they are now scanned. Camera's catching up. Action on Nick, raising it up with the 7s. Rock calling with the 2 overcards, the King Jack. Torito also calling with the suited King. Oh, Rene with the ace queen just makes the call on the button. He just got the chip, so sometimes you see players get really aggressive afterwards, or sometimes you see players get really passive, and it looks like he's taking the passive route, just calling with the ace queen. As we're going to go 5 ways to the flop, everybody with a little something in their hand. Oh, Nick flopping top set here. There are 2 clubs on the board, nobody with clubs. I kind of like a check multi-way here. Looks like Nick disagrees with me. Nick hoping somebody has clubs here, somebody has an overcard, overpair here. That is not the case. And I don't think anybody's calling. Rene wondering why he didn't 3-bet pre-flop, but it turns out it was the right move.
For some people, it's easy, right? Like Mr. Rocky here, he comes in, 500 in his pocket, doubles up. No, man, that couldn't be better right now for him at the table.
So Trailblazer Series, less than a $200 buy-in, more than a $50K prize pool. Beginning not tomorrow, but next Thursday, not this Thursday, but next Thursday, Thursday after next, the 19th, $175 buy-in. 2 flights a day, one at 1 p.m., one at 6 p.m. 2 flights a day, every day except Christmas Eve and Christmas. We will be closed for Christmas. We will be open Christmas Eve. Normal hour at 10 a.m. the game. Actually at 9 a.m. Doors open at 9 a.m. We start playing at 10 a.m. But we will be open Christmas Eve until the game breaks. Torito putting on the raise with the AK. Nice fold from Rene, the suited ace. Nick, who called the $10 button straddle, left with a decision here. And he will say no boy. So it looks like Nick going to put in $15 under the gun for the straddle. You are allowed to straddle up to half your stack under the gun. The minimum is double the big blind, so in this case the minimum would be $10. The maximum would be half your stack. Nick choosing 15, 1-5. So action's going to be on Rock. Really haven't heard much from him since his first hand. And he's going to be making the call with the ace. Torito having the ace-king last hand. Has some suited connectors this hand. And he is going to put in the raise. I like it. Playing the 9-10 aggressive. Normally he would have 2 live cards here, but we can see, oh, he's getting some 4s to fold, and he's getting ace-10 to fold. So The ace-10 had him dominated. The pair had him beat. You can see he's folding out these hands by taking an aggressive route here. As I said, normally his 9 and 10 would be live here, but we can see Rock has him dominated. That's if Rock chooses to call here. Nick gonna have to fold his king 4. Question is, what does Rock do? And Rock's gonna fold. So I actually do not like a show here. And Torito does not show.
The first round is the better team is home team. And then I even think the second round might be a little tough. Because the bowls are only like the semis and then the championship. So we may reshuffle. No, they're started back.
So $15 straddle last hand. We'll see if there is a straddle this hand. So Rock gonna be limping under the gun again. He was under the gun last time since there was a straddle. Now he is really under the gun, and he has another ace. This time it is a better ace.
Championship game will be back in the Mercedes, back in Atlanta.
You be raising it up. A small raise. And he's going to be getting a call. Pretty sure Nick called with the 5s. Yeah, Nick did call with the 5s, but he cannot hit a 5. So Ivan going to be hitting bottom pair here. But Nick is in front right now with the 5s. Newbie going to continue on with his aggression. Well, actually, Newbie hit top pair. Newbie has 9-10 off suit. And Ivan with the 3 makes the call on the flop. Does Ivan have backdoor? No. Well, he doesn't have a backdoor flush draw. So Newbie was dominated pre-flop. The ace-10 of Rock had him dominated, but the 9 of Newbie is going to outflop him. So top pair versus bottom pair. Ivan does have backdoor straight draws, and we're going to go heads up to a turn. All the 5s are gone. There's a couple of 3s left. And now the backdoor draws are gone for Ivan. Newbie going to slow down now. Ivan does the same. To the river we go. Newbie going to wind up with the best hand. Will he put out a bet? Who knows? He's going to check, and Ivan's going to take his showdown value. Newbie will show the 9-10 off suit. As I mentioned, the holiday hours earlier, we will be closed Christmas Day. However, Christmas Eve, the doors will open at 9 a.m. Christmas Eve, as they do every day here at the Texas Card House. And the game will go until it breaks. And we'll be closed for Christmas and reopen at the normal time the very next day on Boxing Day. The day after Christmas, Boxing Day. Celebrated in England, celebrated in Canada, and I'm sure some people celebrated here in the States.
I saw that tie, and I'm like, oh, but that's going to go overtime. And then I looked at it again, I'm like,
I was like, I saw that it was going to go over, like the same thing. I was like, oh, badass overtime. So I'm like, I got back to fucking Call of Duty, and I was like, oh, let's see how the overtime is doing. I was like, no way.
So everybody limping here.
I'm definitely betting on Penn State against this.
Even Silos with his suited ace. And we're going 5 ways to a flop. 3 players with aces. It's going to come diamonds. New York Bob going to be flopping a straight draw and a flush draw. And New York Bob's going to be betting about half pot here. Ivan going to be making the call with the ace of diamonds. And Rock going to be making the call as well with his straight draw and flush draw. He does not want to see a 9. All right, board pairing. So 2 players with flush draws. And it's going to go check to the river. And New York Bob going to hit a tray, which is going to be good. New York Bob going to be bluffing here with the best hand. And both players will fold pretty fast. Hey, don't forget about the 2-for-1 time all day on Tuesdays. So normally, if you are playing poker, it is a $12 charge on your player's card. But you can get 2-for-1 time on Tuesdays here at the Texas Card House, Rio Grande Valley.
You haven't heard? They caught the guy? It's too shady. Yeah, they did. So, you know about the guy in...
All right, looks like we have a $10 button straddle under the gun coming from Torito.
Yes, right. They did. Well, they caught the guy. Okay? He has a gun. 26 years old. Everything on him. Comes from a wealthy family. He was involved in healthcare. And he shoots the CEO of United Healthcare. He's an Ivy League graduate. Went to Penn State. A rich family. Valedictorian of his high school class. Yeah, he's a smart guy. What the hell? Engineering degree.
Natural 9 for New York Bob. Great hand in Baccarat, but he's going to be coming in for a call here.
They already matched the ballistics to the gun to the... They found his fingerprints at the scene.
What's the motive?
Is this one that's
Planes.
Hey, money makes you do crazy things.
He had ongoing medical issues.
Yeah, showing what he was back.
So small raise here from Torito. He has the best hand, but the sizing's kind of small. He also has a natural 9. Of course, if you play Baccarat, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you have no idea. A lot of people think Baccarat is like blackjack because it looks like blackjack, but it's not. It's actually more like roulette, where you just pick a side beforehand. But the odds are a lot better. King High flop, Torito with the best hand. Pre-flop with the best hand on the flop. And he will be putting out a small bet.
So he got one of these ghost bets. He bought the parts online and he put it together.
Huh? High hands are good. Oh, our hands are good. Yeah, we're starting high hands again. All right, sorry. Any high hands I know.
So looks like, so this took place 15 minutes. So looks like the high hands have begun again. So the floor letting them know.
What made him a cat? How do you pull over a rat to eat a McDonald's?
He's hungry.
No, but how do you find cashier?
Well, actually, you know what's interesting?
Rock put it on a $10 butted straddle, so action does start to the left of the straddle. It is not a Mississippi straddle. It is not a Hard Rock straddle. It is not an ultimate last action straddle. Action starts to the left of the straddle, so action will start on the small blind. Pedro making the quick fold. Torito halfway in, making sure his cards got scanned properly. Oh, he has kings. Rene limping, or I was going to say Rene limping, but he does. But New York Bob also limps. And Torito hoping somebody raises, and he found somebody to raise.
See, that's why I whacked the guy. This world is full of shit.
much does he have in his stack? Oh, he's gonna put in a 3-bet here. Maybe 150. What is it? Oh, even Rock Collins. So yeah, at least 150 here with the Kings. At least 150. It's gonna be more than 150. Looks like it's gonna be 210.
He was out of the city and then out a week later. Not a week later. He was out of the city.
No, it's gonna be 200.
On him like a week later. I think it was like 5.
I don't think Ivan's gonna be able to get away from this. Ace King's too strong of a hand here. I mean, granted, when you have a player back raising, especially at lower stakes like this, 1-2, 2-5, whenever somebody puts in a back raise like this, they always have it. But your hand is too strong to fold here. Ivan doesn't like it because he knows that his opponent at least has... Oh, Ivan gets away from it. Wow. So another nice fold by Ivan, as he did fold a flush on the river earlier to a full house. Rock has one of those hands where you can do some damage to aces or kings, but he's gonna let it go, and I think Torito's gonna show. He's gonna show. And he does show. Ivan letting him know that he folded ace king. He is being truthful. So it looks like everybody knows that they're on a stream. Everybody's going to see the hands anyway. Why not show them? Good sportsmanship from the players here. Looks like New York Bob going to be putting on the UTG straddle under the gun. Action's going to be on UB. And it's always interesting to see what UB's going to do. UB's going to fold the San Francisco busboy. And everybody's going to fold. Pedro on the button with the 7 deuce. I actually like a raise there with the 7 deuce, and then you show it. But obviously, everybody plays different.
Yeah, the king, I think. No, I had the king. It was spades, a king, a diamond. I had red a diamond, a raise.
Looks like we're going heads up. Torito with the best hand right now, 9 high. And he's going to flop a straight draw, needing a queen. Basically, the first player who bets at this is going to win. New York Bob picking up some chop outs. And there will be no chop. It's going to be 9 high is going to win here. So 9 high going to take it down here.
It was a 4-card series.
So progressive high hands are back during the day, Monday through Friday. So this is for the month of December. Progressive morning high hands, Monday through Friday. $50 every hour with rollovers. Aces full of faces. I like that. Aces full of faces. Minimum to qualify, which essentially means aces full of jacks are better to qualify. Must use both hold cards. So this is for the high hands in the morning, not counting the anniversary high hands, which we'll pick back up on Monday.
No way I'm calling third or raising a flag. With an ace on the board, you call, and then everybody else has to call.
I like my position that much.
Heads up.
Why don't you hit that case king or
Oh, New York Bob flopping top 2. And he's going to bet $5. Taking a page from the Cajun Asian with the min bet. I think Rock is done with this hand. New York Bob going to size it up to 15. Rock with the immediate fold. And New York Bob will show. So once again, these progressive high hands, they'll be taking place tomorrow, Thursday during the day, Friday during the day, and then of course Friday night we will be streaming on the main channel, TCH Live. We are one of 6 Texas Card House locations across the state of Texas, one of 4 streaming locations. The other locations that stream, TCH Social in Austin, Texas Card House in Houston, and Texas Card House in Dallas. Those are the other streaming locations, so 4 locations stream, and all the locations stream a minimum of twice a week. So that is 8 streams, which is one of the reasons why we needed the secondary channel to make sure that there was always a channel available to stream. But even more so is all of these great tournament series that are making stops across all of the Texas Card House locations. There is essentially a channel always ready to go to stream a final table. And of course, the next final table that's going to be streamed as part of the Poker Atlas Tour that's going on right now at TCH Social in Austin. TCH Social in Austin, located northwest Austin off of Highway 186, also known as Research Boulevard, and Anderson Mills, located right next door to the Austin Aquarium. Oh, Renette out flopping Nick here, hitting his 9. And he likes to lead out whenever he hits a pair, and he's going to lead out here. And Nick not going to be able to call. So Nick makes the fold. Renette or Rini, depending on where you're from. Kind of like the spelling of some words. Most people will spell chulo, CH. Some of them will spell it with an S.
So the barrel, when he was firing, the barrel was going forward and back. It was jamming on the saddles. That's scary.
So no straddle this hand,
You're trying to murder someone and you're going to get stuck here.
as action will be under the gun. Silos makes the fold. Nick makes the call. Rock also making the call. Dorito calling with the suited jack. New York Bob will put it on a raise here. I like this play. So New York Bob raising here in position, has the power of the button, using the power. 25 more for Nick to call. He is not, but Rock will make the call, and we will go heads up. These players looking for some red cards. And a huge flop for Rock as he's going to flop a flush draw and a straight draw. He's actually favored to win here, even though New York Bob flopped a pair, as all his cards are live. Oh, now that changes. New York Bob hitting trips, and now Rock is leading out. The 7 should not have helped New York Bob, but we see it actually did, giving him trips. Now Rock is going to need a 10 or a diamond, and instead Rock is going to hit a 9. Oh, Rock going to put out a small bet here. No, Rock putting out about a half pot size bet. Rock is going to get raised. No, New York Bob just calls, worried about the backdoor flush. New York Bob is going to be good with his trip 7s. So one of the rare times you see a draw favored over a pair on the flop, as it was a 60-40 there on the flop. York Bob flopped bottom pair, and Rock flopping a flush draw, a straight draw, and 2 overcards. It actually made him the favorite on the flop, even though he did not have a pair. So last time Nick straddled 15 under the gun. This time he does not. Making sure the cards got scanned properly. Oh, Nick was hoping that he straddled to 15. But he is going to be making the raise with the ace-king. Rene going to be calling with the suited Jack 4. And New York Bob also making the call with Black Jack. Newbie might call. No, he does not. Looks like Ivan's going to be calling. So 2 players with ace-10, 1 player with ace-king, and let's see how much equity Rene has here. He's actually the second favorite to win here with his jack high. And we are heading towards a chop pot if nothing changes, or a possible chop pot, as it is a paired board, 2 spades. It's going to go check around. And now another spade comes. New York Bob with the ace of spades might posture at this pot if it is checked to him. But it looks like Nick is betting his ace-king here. Nick put in $50 out, and that's going to get the job done. Doesn't look like Rock is at his seat, so taking a little break. Maybe he's setting his fantasy football lineup.
I wonder if he still gets lines from that when they tell him, because if I see him at the damn World Series, I would make that. I would say that. I see people wearing the shirt.
Let me look at Rock's team. So his main guy is his running back. He drafted Saquon. It's the best player he has.
We have a $10 bonus straddle, or actually such as
He's going double tight end. He's got a tight end in his flex. So the Minnesota tight end, TJ Hawkinson. And then the flex is Mark Andrews. That's interesting. Oh, flopping a flush is Rock. I didn't even see him sit back down. But Newbie has the ace of hearts. Oh, it goes check around. Newbie turning a straight draw.
He's a great actor, man. That guy is all over the place.
Now Rock is going to be betting here. Newbie going to call, or he might raise.
The one that saved was the teacher. 25. I'm talking about the guy that. Oh yeah. Sheesh, what's his name? Kanish.
So Newbie double gutted here, but the flush is not going. The straight is not going to be good. All right, so that 4 should save Newbie money. Should. Yeah, Newbie's going to miss, and he will take down the pot. So Rock, perfect timing, coming back at the right time. And he's going to be big blind here. It looks like seat 4 there. Pedro's still away from his seat. I know Pedro's probably on a cigarette break.
Oh, every time it's on too, my fiance is like, what? Looking at it.
So Torito just making the call.
She watched it with me for the first. She had never seen it, so she watched it. She's like, okay, I ain't watch it.
And Yubi raising it up with the 9 high. It's a small raise. Probably would have gone 20 since there was a limper. Torito limping. Probably would have gone at least 20, maybe 25. Game doesn't seem to be playing too fast, so don't have to size up too big. But you can see everybody calling. And we are having a all diamonds. We go from an all hearts flop to an all diamonds flop. And this time nobody has diamonds. Yubi with 2 pair. Torito with top pair and a straight draw. Nick with top pair and a straight draw. Ivan open-ended. And he's going to be betting $16. I was going to say there's no way he can win the pot, but actually becomes runner 3-3. He will. Wow, Torito holding his hand, worried about a diamond.
Somebody's staying till 2 o'clock.
To the turn we go. Ace of hearts coming. Nick checking. And everybody checking. Yubi thinks his 2 pair are good now. But the straight gets there. So Ivan hitting the straight on the river. And let's see if he bets it. No, he's not going to bet it. So as I mentioned earlier, it is Ivan's first time playing on the stream, and I think he might be playing just a little too careful, but nothing wrong with that. It's better to play too careful than opposed to too reckless, especially your first time playing on the stream. So should be having a dealer change in about 15 minutes, and then once we get that dealer change, that'll take us to our final hour, as we do have a $10 butted straddle from Nick. Rock will fold. Rene just making the call here with the suited ace. He was in early position. Onyubi with the better ace. Putting on the small raise here. I don't think Rene is going to be folding for this small raise, his suited ace. And as a matter of fact, Silos making the call with the Jack-10 offsuit. Nick getting a real good price, but he's going to let his hand go. He does not close the action, but Rene will close the action, and Rene will make the call. Newbie in great shape right now, has both his players dominated. But looks like one of those players is going to hit a 10 on him, and that is Silos. Newbie with a gut shot also has a heart. He will check his option. Silos gonna check his 10, and we will be going to the turn. Newbie looking for a queen, a heart. That's actually a good turn for Silos. He should be betting if it is checked to him here, but it looks like Newbie is going to be putting out a small bet here. Going to be betting 45, less than half pot. Silos thinking about it, and he should be making the call. When the board pairs like this, it's less likely that your opponent has the king, but obviously he can have the king. Silos thinking that his opponent might have the king. I know it's easy to say, and it seems like I'm only saying this because I see the players' cards, but without seeing the players' cards there, I think I'm calling in that situation and reevaluating on the river. I would be saying the same thing if Newbie had ace-king there. He's saying, hey, chances of him having a king are less likely. I have a 10, so I'm going to call and reevaluate. But of course, everybody's an expert after the hand. Looks like a missed deal, so as they take care of the missed deal, we will take care of the Trailblazer Series in Español.
Atención jugadores de póker del Valle. Trailblazer Tour de $60,000 llega a Texas Card House RGV desde el 19 al 29 de diciembre. Solo $175 para entrar, además de múltiples premios. Habrán 2 oportunidades diarias para entrar. Para más detalles visite a texascardhouse.com.
As I said, there was a missed deal. And this is something a little bit different on the stream. Whenever there is a card exposed, then there will be a missed deal just because of the tracker. These are special cards. They have a little computer chip in them, and you can see the circles in front of the players. There's a circle in front of all the players, a circle within a circle within a circle. That is the RFID reader. And that's how we're able to see what the players' cards are. So whenever there is a missed deal, there's no way to replace that. We might see a big hand here. Osilo's just calling with the jacks. Who raised here? Was it Pedro that raised? No, it was Rene that raised with the king-queen offsuit. So we're going 4 ways to a flop. The jack's the best hand right now, and the 9s might get in trouble. 2 spades on the board. Great flop for the jacks. And he's going to be betting. Looks like a decent amount. So yeah, so almost a pot-sized bet. Let's see if Pedro makes the call here with 9s. Nah, he's gonna let it go. So Pedro not knowing it, but it's actually good that 10 came out, because if that was like an 8-high flop, then I don't think Pedro would have been folding his 9s there. So the 1 over card to the flop, even though his opponent didn't have it, it's going to save Pedro some chips.
Yeah, so spade is sweet. Yeah. You win? You win. Came for like 30, 45 minutes.
Don't forget, we are live on the YouTube comments. We are live in the YouTube comments. The poker bluffer. I don't know if he's bluffing, but he's wishing everybody happy holidays. Everybody folding. Oh, Nick with the pretty Jack-10 suited. And he's going to raise it up to 15. Rock with the immediate call. Has some better suited connectors. And Rene getting priced in. Another $10 for him to call. He's going to make the call. And we're going to go 3 ways to a flop. And that's a decent flop for Rene's hand. Flops a pair and a straight draw. There is an ace on the board, so he's probably going to check. And everybody's going to check around him. A heart or a spade? Nope. Let's see if Rene checks again. No, he's going to put out a bet here. Doesn't think his opponents have an ace, and he is correct. So he will take down the pot.
I'll be honest with you one-on-one, kind of doors. I'm going to tell you right now.
I'm going to check it out right now, and I'm going to tell everybody what you have.
All right, you want me to be honest with you?
What you have?
The action's been okay. It hasn't been crazy. And most people most people like crazy when they're watching the stream. The action has not been crazy. It's just been okay. Nothing too crazy. I think it's very funny whenever you tune into some of these streams where the commentators will be like, "Oh, we got a great game lined up for you and this and that." It's like, I mean, they don't know for sure. They don't know how the card distribution is going to go. They don't know how the players are going to play. You see the late night talk shows hosts do that a lot. They're like, "We got a great show for you tonight, folks." It's like every night it's a great show, and it's all like, let's be honest. I mean, some streams are going to be better than others. Some shows are going to be better than others. As I said, this been a pretty normal stream, like shooting par on a golf course. We may be seeing like 1 or 2 birdies.
That's all I need to know, bro. Fucking 10 minutes. That's how we played. We checked it out.
Yeah, as I said, you can never control how the players. For some reason, when I saw that, I thought about Smelly Cat from Friends. Smelly cat, what are they feeding you? If you've seen the episode, you know what I'm talking about. Hey, speaking about TV shows, if you have Paramount Plus and you haven't tuned into Landman, very good show. And obviously, I think I like it more than most just because it takes place here in Texas. And I am familiar with the oil field. I know a lot of people that work at the oil field and stuff like that. So a very good series if you're looking for a TV series to watch. It's about 4 or 5 episodes in. Billy Bob Thornton plays the main character. He's got this crazy ex-wife, like super toxic. And of course, all the stuff that happens on the oil rigs. Very good series. Landman, now streaming on Paramount Plus. Use discount tch.rgv for a free 3 months. All right, I'm joking about that promo. All right, no straddle this hand, as action's going to be on Nick. Pedro with the Queen 10 offsuit. He's going to make the raise. Takes it up to 15. Oh, everybody folded. So everybody folded to a $15 raise. I didn't say it.
No, it's gotta be a bluff.
But it used to be like that.
So it looks like Ivan is not in his seat, but he does get posted. This is something unique to the stream where it's kind of like when you're playing a tournament. If you're not at your seat, you will get blinded out. Same deal on the stream. And the reason why is that's just the way the software works. There is no option for missed blinds on the software. The players are aware of this before they sit down. Looks like everybody getting scanned properly. Pedro raising the last time with ace-10 to 15, and now he takes it to 20. So last time the queen 10, he raised it to 15. Now he has the ace-10, making it $5 more. And looks like Rene gonna call him with the jack-9, and we will go heads up to a flop. 2 diamonds. No player with diamonds. Pedro going to check. Rene checks as well. Burn is down. And the graphics are just catching up. Burn is down, Jeremiah. See, Silos would have flopped 2 pair. No. Okay, there you go. He caught it. He caught it. He caught it. Professional dealer, folks. Professional dealer. Queen on the river, so ace high gonna be good, but Rene gonna bluff at it. Oh, Pedro gonna call him with the ace high. So nice call by Pedro. And I believe we're getting ready for a dealer change. So it's gonna be Ashley coming in. Goes by Ash Cash. Next hand, I believe. Next hand. One more hand from Jeremiah here. Rock with the 7s. Limping under the gun. Oh, Pedro raising it up. 9-8. Quick call from Torito. New York Bob calling with the deuces. Ivan, not at his seat, had the trays. And looks like Nick is going to be calling with the 9-8 as well. So 2 players with 9-8 suited. Newbie with the natural 9, the 4-5. And it's going to come jack high, so the pocket 7s of rock still out in front. Pedro flopping open-ended, also has a backdoor flush draw. He's going to continue. Not a good flop for the 4s or the deuces, as the board can pair again and counterfeit your pocket pair. The players realize that, and they will fold. Nick has the same 9-8, but he's going to get out of the way. And Pedro going to be taking it down. He's going to show the 9-8 suited. Yeah, so we will have a dealer change. We have exactly 1 hour left in tonight's stream.
Want to win a brand new Chevy Trailblazer SUV? The Trailblazer Points Championship is here. The more you play and the higher you rank in the Trailblazer Poker Tour, the better your chances are. The best tournament player in the Trailblazer Poker Tour drives away with this grand prize. For full details on the Trailblazer Poker Tour and the Points Championship, visit TexasCardHouse.com. Attention Rio Grande Valley poker players. The $60,000 guaranteed Trailblazer Poker Tour is coming to Texas Card House RGV from December 19th through December 29th. $175 buy-in. Tons of great perks for playing at this tour stop. Flights at 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. every day except Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. For full details, structure, and more, visit TexasCardHouse.com.
All right, dealer change, have exactly an hour to go. Now, I will say this much. I know towards the end of the stream, it always seems to get a little crazy towards the end of the stream. So we do have an hour left to go. So Chevrolet actually makes not only a Trailblazer, but just a regular Blazer. They also make a Blazer EV. So the Trailblazer considered a SUV from the Chevrolet brand. The smallest SUV being the Trax with an X. And you have the Trailblazer. And you have the Equinox. queens for Rene, but there's an ace on the flop, and Ivan has the ace. See if Rene peels a card. He's going to peel. So to the turn we go. It is not a queen, so I think he's pretty much done with this hand. We'll see if Ivan puts out another bet. Oh, Ivan's giving him a real good price. What is that, 35 into 200? So both players with pocket pairs. Nick needs a 2 or a 3. Obviously, you know your opponent has an ace, but I still think I'm calling here. At least with Nick's hands, because Nick, you have a straight draw and a flush draw. And you can see Rene getting a really good price, 35 into 235. But he was hesitant to call the flop. Oh, he's still not letting the queens go. So deuce or 3 for Nick. So board double pairing, and we'll see if Ivan checks back. No, Ivan putting out $25. Trying to get one green chip from Rene. He wanted to fold on the flop. Oh, he's going to make the call and see the ace. So Ivan getting max value with his ace. There's always a number that a player will call, and it looks like Ivan knew that number for Rene. So he would have called 25, but not 30, and Ivan knew that. He bet 25 on the river. So it looks like a button straddle coming from Nick. I think it's 15. We'll see what the dealer announces as we make sure that all the cards get scanned properly. Yeah, it is a $15 straddle. Rock making the call from the small blind. I think Rock's range can be pretty wide there as he's calling with all of his pocket pair, all of his big cards. And just based upon the lineup, Rock should have a better hand than Nick, as somebody's cards didn't get scanned. Oh, Rock's checking dark? Be funny if Nick bets dark. It looked like he was reaching for chips. So somebody's cards didn't get scanned properly, and that's why we're not able to see the player's cards, and that's why we have the pause in the action.
Yeah, I had you to the. I think. Yeah, I you folded on the flop, bro.
All right, so we should see all the hands flash up pretty quick, and then we should see the flop here.
Here we go. I folded the turn.
Yeah, for the turn. Yeah, with the ace.
Yeah. Have sex straddle next for you.
There we go. Rock has king 10. That's a little surprising. Thought he would be a little stronger from the small blind there. But he should be ahead of Nick's hand. Basically, queen 7 or above. Queen 7 is the middle. Anything better than queen 7. Oh, Nick actually hasn't beat here. It's a little surprising here. But we are going heads up. And Nick is going to hit a tray. Also has a club. And he's going to check. Rock looking for a king or a 10. Board is going to pair. Check, check again. River looking for a king or a 10. It's going to be a jack. I think it's going to go check all the way through. So Nick will show. He was good with just ace high. But the 3 gives him the win. So we'll see if anyone puts on a straddle here. It looks like Rock is going to put on 10. TIN 10. Action's going to be on Pedro. Pedro with the Jack 10. Oh, looks like he's going to be calling here. Or does he raise? Oh, the small raise. So he's really hoping everybody folds behind him. But René's going to be calling. Oh, and Rock with the worst hand in poker. He was getting a real good price. It was only $15 more to win 80. But he makes the fold. And we got a very interesting flop here. Top pair versus trips. Let's see if René bets it. So René just going to be making the call. Needing a 10. There are 2 10s left. Oh, but it's going to come running clubs. Oh, looks like he's still going to bet. No. Small bet. Big raise. Pedro has to know he's not good lap now as the backdoor flush got there. I guess his opponent could be bluffing here with like Queen Jack. It's $91 for Pedro. He did catch René bluffing earlier. René bluffed with Jack high earlier. And Pedro called him with ace high. It was a much smaller bet, the bluff. This time it's for all of René's chips. But it looks like the bluff that René ran earlier might get Pedro to call here. Oh, it is. Yeah, so that was set up with a little history as the previous pot these two players played to the river. René had Jack high and put out a small bluff on the river of $15. Pedro looked him up with the ace. So Pedro knew that René was capable of bluffing, and he called the bluff. Or he called thinking he was bluffing. So it looks like Bob getting the hijack app taken care of. As there is an app where you can play poker now in Texas. It is known as Hijack. You do deposit money and cash out money at any of the Texas Card House locations in Texas. And then it's just an app that you have on your phone. You can play anytime you're bored at work.
It's a cool experience. I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, the app gives you a lot of good, like you hit all your draws, and you get a lot of good hands, you win, and then after that, you'll have a lot of the same good hands and lose, like, the variance is there.
Well, from what I understand, it's like settings, you can set it. All these poker settings.
All right, looks like we're going 5 ways to a flop
Frequency settings.
of $100.
Frequency settings. Well, yeah, like
Ace Jack and Newbie, the best hand, he raised it, and he picked up 4 callers, and the queen's going to get there. So René with the better kicker just doubled up last hand, and he's going to lead. You're probably going to have to call him here. He does have backdoor flush draws, backdoor straight draws. He is out-kicked right now. Looks like everybody else, I was about to say, looks like everybody else done with the hand, but Ivan has a gut shot, needing a 7, and he's going to pay the $40 to see a 7 on the turn. The only problem is if it's a 7 of hearts, he has no hearts in his hands. Oh, how about a 7 of clubs? So pretty big card there on the turn, as it gives Ivan the straight, gives Rene a gut shot straight draw, and gives New York Bob an open ender. So let's see if Ivan just calls here with the 2 hearts. He just calls. A heart is going to slow down the action on the river if the heart shows up. Oh, Rene hitting it straight with the 10. It's going to give Bob 2 pair, and he's going to go all in again. 2 straight hands. Rene is all in, and both times he had it. Since there's a 4 card straight on the board, I was going to say it should be an easy fold for Bob. Not so much so for Ivan, as he has a 6 card straight, but he has it with the 5. New York Bob has been in this position multiple times tonight where he's thinking about making a move, making a call, but he has a player left behind him to worry about, which is why I mentioned earlier, even if the action is checked to you, you shouldn't fold your hand, because it does change the dynamic. Looks like Bob's going to let it go. No, he's cutting out chips. So this might save Ivan some money if Bob makes the call here. Bob's cutting out the 175. He's seeing what his stack's going to look like if he makes this call. He is thinking about it. Does have 2 pair. It is top 2 pair. Oh, he makes the call. Yeah, so kind of like earlier where Ivan was able to make a big fold. I think he's going to be able to make a fold here now that Bob called. If Bob didn't call, Ivan was going to call. So either way, Rene was going to get somebody to call here. But Ivan was able to fold a flush on the river earlier when on a paired board. So I think he's going to fold here again, as he has been playing a little on the snug side. Like I said, it's his first time on the stream. And yeah, he's going to make the fold. So nice fold by Ivan. And Rene going to show the 10. And Bob not going to like it.
Yeah, it kept you there.
Yeah, not to sound like a company man, but I've heard a lot of bad things about that site, and maybe that's why you have the laughing face. But the hijack site, you make a deposit at any Texas Card House location and you withdraw from any Texas Card House location. I know a lot of these apps were really big during COVID when everybody was in lockdown. And the question that I always had was, okay, if you do win something on the apps, how do you get paid? And we can see that a lot of these apps was like, well, you might get paid, you might not. That's the thing with the hijack app. Like I said, you're making a deposit at an actual brick and mortar business. You're making a withdrawal. You're not selling somebody some money or picking up some money in an alley or anything like that. It's not shady at all. It's the same concept that's here at the Texas Card House. There is no rake. There is no rake on the app, and you do have to be a member of the Texas Card House to be playing on the app. You also must be in the state of Texas. So it's the same setup as it is here at the brick and mortar location, but it's just online.
10 or 10:30, I think it's only 10:30.
4 hours, so whatever time it started.
Yeah, I think we started like at 4:30.
I mean, we started sometimes with 20 after, 25 after, and then they don't have it. I mean, it would be nice
Yeah, so queen high flop coming, everybody missing. And now Rene hitting an 8. This girl is on fire. So back-to-back double ups, and now he hits the turn. He already had the best hand, but now he knows he has the best hand. Fuego. So nice hand for Rene or Rini, depending on where you're from. And it looks like Ivan's going to put on the $10 under the gun straddle. So action's going to be on Silos. Short for Carlos. Rocking the Texas Card House hoodie. Folds the Sooty connectors under the gun. Nick gonna be raising with the 5s. It's a pretty big raise. Actually, it's not a big raise because I forgot about the $10 under the gun straddle. So there's a $10 under the gun straddle. So he is raising it here, and Rene picking up a really good hand again, just making the call. And you can see Ivan calling with his ace. So Rene has both rock and Ivan dominated. Nick is actually out in front right now with the 5s. And let's see if Ivan gets in trouble here. Oh, he's leading right out. I think Nick has to fold with 2 players behind him. Oh, Nick calls actually. So Nick needing a 5 or a 4. Rene raising. As I said before the hand, this girl is on fire. Quick call from Ivan, and now Nick. Well, now is he getting priced in? Oh, it's a min-raise, right? How much more is it for Nick? Oh, it was $60 more? Oh. I wouldn't have called the 45 bet on the flop, but once I call the 45, I'm calling this raise. Oh, 2 pair now for Rene. And how much is he going to bet on the turn? Action is on Ivan. He does check. Rene putting out. Looks like 190. Ivan's been making some good folds tonight, and he's going to continue on making the good folds. And it's going to be 4 pots in a row for Rene. Representing Starr County tonight. Hashtag La Estrella. So let's see if Silos puts on a straddle or New York Bob puts on a straddle. And New York Bob does put on a straddle. Still have over half an hour to go on tonight's stream. Action's going to be on Newbie. Quick fold. Ivan halfway in makes the other $5 call. Silos. So it was C5 that didn't get scanned. So see what Ivan has. He's got the trucker hand. That's a good 10-4, good buddy. Like I said, he was halfway in, and he is suited, so why not? Oh, Nick calling with the Jack-3 of diamonds. Looks like Pedro going to be calling with the Jack-10. Torito calling as well. Torito with the 7s just making the call here. Thought he might be raising. Rene's in really bad shape now. His hearts are bad, and his Jack is bad. It's going to be really hard for him to win this hand. It's really going to be hard to make it 5 in a row. Oh, he does hit a 5, though. Nobody with a queen. 2 players with diamonds, though. Nick with Jack high diamonds. Ivan with 10 high diamonds. And Rene going to be betting. He might get the best hand to fold here. Best hand right now is the sevens. But it's going to be hard for Torito to call, especially once two players call in front of you. You got to know you're just drawn to 2 outs now. Yeah, and he does make the fold. So I said it's going to be hard for Rene to win 5 in a row. He might prove me wrong here if a diamond doesn't come. He's also needs to avoid a 10 or a jack as we go 3 ways to the turn. Looks like about $200 in the pot. No, 162. Oh, there's the diamond. He's still not drawn dead. He could hit a queen or a 5 on the river. Everybody's going to check. Will it be a queen or a 5? No. So Nick is going to win here with the jack high flush. Ivan's going to bet his 10 high flush, thinking he's good. Does Nick raise is the question. There is a player behind him that he has to worry about. So he might take the conservative route here and just call the $65 on the river. Maybe a min raise? Yeah, he's not folding. You can't fold here. He's thinking about whether or not to raise. And it looks like he is going to raise. $150. Quick call from Ivan, and he's going to see the bad news. So flush versus flush.
I didn't put them on. I put them on trips.
I didn't like the call. I was like, oh shit, you got. I thought you had something higher.
Next time, man.
It scared me because I couldn't hear it. I thought you said all ear, and I was like, oh.
Next week, Trailblazer Series making a stop here in South Texas. We're located 4 hours and 20 minutes south of Austin. Depending on what part of Houston, is it Houston or Houston? Depending on what part of Houston you live in, we're roughly about 5 hours, depending on how fast you drive, and as I said, what part of Houston you live in. Houston, the biggest city in Texas. It's so big, it has a loop around the loop around the loop. So you got loop 610, and then you have the Beltway, Sam Houston Tollway, Beltway 8, and now you have the Grand Parkway, Toll Road 99. So essentially, it looks like these card readers that the players have. A circle, around a circle, around a circle. Three loops around Houston. Uh-oh. Aces, ace-king versus queens. Does Torito just call here? Oh, he does. And it's going to come queen high, 2 spades. $200 in the pot. Rene with a quick bet. Torito with a quick fold. So 5 out of 6 hands. Not bad for Rene. He was all in for $91 6 hands ago. He was all in for $91. And Bob can't believe how he's run up the stack. A lot of times you see that in tournaments, especially late in a tournament. Somebody will get down to just a couple of blinds, and then they'll go on a little heater and go from like 2 or 3 big blinds to like 50 bigs and chip leader or something. You see that happen a lot in tournaments. Not so much showing cash games, but it is happening right now to seat 6, as we do have a $10 button straddle coming from Ivan. Action's going to be on Silos. He will fold. Nick, halfway in, makes the call. What does Nick have? 9-7 offsuit. And everybody else calling. New York Bob folded an ace. You be calling with the 10-5. Nickels and dimes. And it's going to come 6-6 deuce, 2 hearts. Nobody with hearts. Nobody with a 6. Nobody with a deuce. Swing and a miss. Oh, newbie going to be betting here. And as I said, nobody has anything, so this is probably going to work for newbie. I wonder if newbie's surprised that this worked. Or if he's thinking, yeah. I love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah, Pence's gonna destroy us again. Definitely. He has Clemson in Texas.
So you do get a 5,000 early bird bonus for the Trailblazer Series. Take your starting stack up to 30K with 30-minute levels for day 1. Day 2, it'll be 40-minute levels. Once you're in the money, once the rubber meets the road, go up to 40-minute levels. Torito with the jacks, and he's going to be raising it up. He's going to make it 29. New York Bob with the suited ace will be making the call. Newbie folds his ace, and we're going heads up to a flop. Jacks versus a suited ace. So it is a king high flop. Torito's going to continue on as he does have a straight draw, needing a queen. Bob's going to be making the call as he has bottom pair, and we're going to be going to a turn. Oh, Bob hitting trips. And Bob going to be putting out a small bet. Torito looking for a queen or a jack. Oh, there's the jack. Now there is a 4-liner to the straight. Any queen makes a straight, but it's going to go check, check. Bob knows any queen makes a straight, so he's going to check. And he's going to see he got rivered.
If he gets every one of these wrong, he needs to be kicked off ESPN. Who said this? Who picked this?
Yeah, so Bob not happy that he got rivered.
He used to be a linebacker. He used to be a linebacker for Texas.
So Bob not happy that he got rivered. And he will fold. Still have half an hour to go on tonight's stream. Yeah, I think Bob might be cashing out early. Did not like that river. Yeah, Bob's going to be cashing out early. As I said, we still have about half an hour to go on tonight's stream. We did start a little bit late, had some technical difficulties at the beginning. Normally these players start playing at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays. They normally start playing at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays. And then we start streaming 15 minutes after they start. So normally we start streaming about 6:15. And these players started playing at 6:30. So we started the stream at 6:45. So as I said, we have a little bit less than half an hour to go. If you've stuck with us this long, might as well see the last 20 minutes or so. And if you know anything about these streams, for whatever reason, towards the end of the streams, there seems to be some craziness that happens. I think a lot of times these players are trying to get unstuck. These players are trying to leave a winner on the stream, and they'll make some high variance plays. It's fun to see if they work out or not work out. It's fun to see either way. All right, now Pedro with the queens, and of course, an ace and a king coming on the flop. So Rock will outflop him with the king. It looks like everybody's going to check. Oh, so Ivan turned into pair. He flopped bottom pair, turns bottom two. Pedro will show the queens. Ivan just going to call here. Straight draw for Nick, open-ended. He's going to be making the call. And we're going to be going 3 ways to a river of over $200. And there's the straight for Nick. So pretty much everybody led this hand at a different time. Nick has the winner. Did Nick fold? Oh, wait, no. It was an 8. Nick needed an 8. I'm sorry about that. Nick needed an 8, not a 9. So there is a full-service bar here at the Texas Card House RGV, and they also have bar bites. Looks like Torito getting the hot Cheetos with cheese. As I said, Bob going to be leaving a little bit early. He actually lives in Cameron County, the next county over. We are in Hidalgo County. Next county over, Cameron County. That's where the beach is, South Padre Island, best beach in Texas. Look it up. And Rene with the ace-king here, raising it up to 35, and he's picking up a lot of callers here. Likes his hand, doesn't like that he's going 4 ways. And Ivan's going to hit a pair of 7s here. Torito with the 6s checks. Rene has to be worried about the other 2 players in the hand. He'll check. Ivan's going to be betting a 7 here. $80, so just over half pot. And let's see if Rene gets sticky with the ace-king. I would. Rene giving Ivan the side-eye. I mean, it's very easy that your opponent has a pocket pair. It's smaller than ace-king. He has hearts. You have no hearts in your hand. Like I said, I'm calling here. It might be the wrong call, but I'm still calling. I'm not folding ace-king to 1 bet. Talk about the bonuses once again. Lower left-hand corner, you have the 2x leader points. 1 automatic qualifier for the 50K free roll at the end of the series. Now, if you do bag multiple times, there's going to be multiple flights, as the flights do start on Thursday, not tomorrow, but the following Thursday, the 19th. 2 flights a day, 1 p.m., 6 p.m., with the exception of Christmas Eve and Christmas. But you do bring the 2 biggest bags forward. It's not your first 2 bags. It's your 2 biggest bags forwards. And then for every other bag, you're going to get a min cash on that. Plus, if you have the most entries at the end of the tournament, you will get unlimited hours here at the Texas Card House RGV. Back to the action we go. And we see a raise coming from Silos with the King Jack of Spades. And we're going 4 ways to a flop of Queen High. Nobody with a queen. Silos flopping a gutter. And let's see if he puts out a continuation bet here. He does not. Rene actually has the best hand here with the 6. And he still has the best hand. Nobody with clubs. Looks like he's going to bet the 6 here. Doesn't think anybody has a queen. So he's going to put out 40. Basically a pot-sized bet. 40 into 42. Nobody's going to be able to call. And Rene's going to win the pot, showing the 6. So real great bonuses here. Direct flights available from all the other Texas Card House locations. The nearest airport in the city of McAllen, the airport's probably about 10 to 15 minutes away. We're talking door to door, or gate to door, I guess, from McAllen International Airport, McAllen Miller International Airport, airport code MFE, direct flights to Dallas on American Airlines, into DFW, direct flights into Houston, George Bush, United, direct flights into Austin on Delta. If you want to take any of the secondary airports in Houston or Dallas, we also have a secondary airport here. It's probably about 30 to 40 minutes from this location, but it is Southwest. So direct flights on Southwest, Dallas Love, Houston Hobby out of Houston into Harlingen Valley International Airport. So Pedro with the king going to be making the bet, and we normally get 85's a good over-under. Obviously, we're going over on this stream. Not quite to 90, but we're going to be 89. So the production crew just came in here. The last hand will be hand 89, and I mentioned this earlier, but I'll mention it again. A lot of times we see craziness, some crazy plays happen the last couple of hands. So we have 15 minutes to go on the stream. We're going to be going until hand 89. 89. If you still have not subscribed to this channel, make sure you do take care of that, as this is the secondary channel. You think you might be subscribed to it. If you are subscribed to TCH Live, you are not subscribed to this channel. This is the secondary channel, Texas Card House. 3 different words, Texas Card House, secondary channel. It's also a different little logo on the thumbnail. The TCH Live, they have their own logo. We have the own logo as well. So Texas Card House, all of the Card House locations do stream on this channel as well. I believe the main channel, if I'm not mistaken, the main channel tonight, TCH Live, they're streaming from TCH Social in Austin. I believe yesterday they were streaming from Dallas on the main channel, and we will be streaming on the main channel on Friday, but tonight we are going 5 ways to a flop. No, 6 ways to a flop. Ace on the flop, Silos with the ace, and nobody else with anything. Let's see if Silos puts out a bet here. 155 is in the middle. Oh, tiny, tiny bet. Betting 10% of the pot. And Rocket to be making the call with his backdoor draws. I kind of don't blame him. You're getting a really good price here. 8 of diamonds will be fun for Rock. Nick calling with his bottom pair. Oh, 8 of diamonds will be a very interesting card. Newbie also calling. Spade, diamond. So Rock still has, well, Rock picked up his backdoor straight draw, now needed an 8. And we'll see if Silos bumps it up here. There's $200 in the pot. All right, now he bumps it up, and now everybody should get out of the way. All right, so 2 more hands to go. Will we see any craziness happen in the last 2 hands tonight? So normally on Friday nights, these players continue to play after the stream. It's kind of hit and miss on Wednesdays just because it is during the week. And, of course, most of these people have the regular 9-to-5 job. But by the look of the lineup, by the look of the table talk, I think they're still playing after the stream. I won't know for sure until after the stream because that's when I get to leave my booth. As I said, I am in the same building, different area. So Nick with the suited ace-5. I kind of like a raise here, 15-20. And Nick makes it 15. Rene just making the call. Oh, Rene just making the call with the suited ace. Oh, 3 players with suited aces. Pedro with the best hand right now with the deuces. So we are going 5 ways, no 4 ways, no 5 ways to a flop. Oh, full house for Ivan. Easy game. As I said, we normally have craziness happen at the end. A deuce? A deuce coming? No, deuce not coming. Diamonds do show up, so newbie picking up a flush draw. And Ivan is going to be betting his full house here. I do like betting here to build a pot. And let's see if newbie calls. He should be calling here. Yeah, newbie does call. Newbie does not want to see a diamond. Oh, there's the diamond. No, the card reader picking up something wrong. So newbie's going to miss the diamond. Ivan's going to bet. Newbie's going to fold. And we're going to move on to our final hand, and we'll see if any craziness happens on the final hand tonight. Or will craziness happen this hand? I thought this hand was over, but newbie. Is he going to call here with ace high? Ivan saying, please call, please call, please call. It looks like newbie's thinking about calling. Not raising. It looks like he's cut out the call. Oh, and he's going to be curious. Yeah, that is a high hand. I do not know if there's a high hand registered right now. Oh, yeah, that is right. Torito did have a high hand against New York Bobby at jacks full of 9s. So the dealer forgot to call the floor to verify it. But that's one of the good things about playing on the stream is there is actually somebody has a better high hand. All right, last hand coming up here. So did see an interesting river call from newbie there. We'll see if we see an interesting hand to finish us off tonight on this Wednesday night. As I said, make sure that you subscribe to this channel as we are trying to build up the secondary channel. Main channel, TCH Live. You're probably subscribed to that if you found your way onto this channel. This is the secondary channel, Texas Card House. And we have Rock limping under the gun. Torito also limping. Newbie not scanning the cards. He will get the card scanned. All right, Rock has some suited hearts. And it looks like we're going to be going 6 ways. No, 5 ways to a flop. So Silos flopping 2 pair. Torito flopping a straight. Do we see a crazy hand? One player with 2 pair, the other. Oh, and it is Rock leading out with his queen rag. Torito does have a club in his hand, so he's just going to be calling here. Oh, Rene with 2 clubs. Rene with a huge flop here. Top pair with a flush draw, and he's going to be raising. Silos with 2 pair. So like I said, for whatever reason, towards the end of the stream, we always seem to have something crazy happen, and it looks like we're on a collision course here. I don't know who's going to be involved in the collision. Silos is not going to be involved. Wow, nice fold from him. Obviously, Torito is not folding. He flopped the nuts. And here comes the re-raise. I'm not folding Rene's hand. He's getting the count, see how much it is. So let's see the board pair to give him more outs. Come on, Ash, pair the board. Ash Cash, pair the board. You can see the pot's already over $400. The Jack 10's still the nuts, and I think Torito is just going to move all in, and he does. So if Rene wants to see the river, he's going to have to pay the max. Guess it's a good thing he didn't have queen of clubs, because he would have 2 pair here. So very interesting final hand. He does call out his hand. He's asking him, what do you have, 10 Jack or a set? I think he's going to fold. The way he's holding his cards, it seems like he's going to fold. And looks like, so I said earlier, I don't think this game is going to break based upon the lineup. And looks like somebody is taking the seats. Gotta love the jacket shorts combo, as we're used to wearing shorts here in South Texas. And as I said, it was in the 60s today, which is cold for us. It might even be in the 50s now that the sun has gone down. Yeah, it's in the 50s now. So last hand of the stream. And we'll see what Rene wants to do. Now, he'll still have chips left if he calls here. So let's see what he does on this final hand. The final couple of hands never seem to disappoint here at the Texas Card House Rio Grande Valley, and tonight being no exception. As the previous hand, we had Newbie call hot. Oh, he is exposing his hand, but his hand is live. It is heads up. Even in a tournament, your hand would be live here. Oh, he's thinking about it. He's reaching for the 1-chip call. Torito looking away, not wanting to give off any tells. Oh, he does announce a fold. So that'll end it for tonight's stream. We'd like to thank everybody who joined us. Our next stream here from the Texas Card House